Hey, the stream is live. I don't know how does everyone feel about apparently infrared? Infrared. I don't know why you'd have an infrared stove. It's gotta like be a term for something else because infrared is a very low energy wavelength. Yeah, induction stoves make sense.
I know what he's talking about.
Induction is great. This is
Are you
not
saying
induction
or infrared? Those.
Induction is great. This is not induction. This is infrared.
Because infrared is a very low energy wavelength.
The same. And it is different from induction.
All right. If you just Google infrared stove, infrared cooktop, you'll see infrared cooktop. I'm sure.
Is that infrared gas?
No, it's not gas.
No, it's not gas. I wish it was gas.
Gas stove, which is confusing.
Yeah, I've definitely used one.
Aha. Infrared cooktop. Basics. Most hot plates these days are made with infrared technology, and many ceramic top stoves are infrared too. Okay, but what is it? It's fast, uses less energy, and doesn't require specific cookware to activate. Okay, but what is it? While an induction stove may not look like it's even on, infrared stoves will glow bright red because they're made with halogen lamps and radiant coils that combine to transfer heat to your cooking pot through direct infrared radiation. Seriously, it's actually using infrared?
The surface does heat up and fast, but the ceramic stovetop is specifically designed to not be as conductive for heat because of how efficient the infrared cooking is. Cooking-wise, they offer similar results as induction.
No. No, they don't. No.
Listen, hunker.com said so.
Yeah, hunker.com/134081104. Infrared is incredibly effective, using technology similar to how microwaves work. That's what it says.
They both produce heat. But is it as efficient? Is it as good as induction? No, not by a lot.
You should know there are concerns from some consumers about the dangers of radiation, much like the worries held by people in the early days of microwave cookery.
Who's afraid of infrared radiation?
Are unfounded.
I can't think of something less harmful than infrared radiation.
But it's
infrared radiation is less harmful than someone throwing like a cotton swab at you. It's not going to do nothing.
They should put their TV remote control down because boy, golly, that shoots out a lot of infrared.
Literally everything in the world shoots out a lot of infrared radiation.
In high enough concentrations, it might cause a mild burn.
Like
yeah,
that
well,
sun
I mean,
thing.
it's stovetop, so I would hope it can burn some things.
Don't they have like a less lethal infrared beam that makes people feel like they're really hot or something? Or is that microwaves? Anyway,
I think that was
like the Sting. I think they call it the Stinger. Yeah.
I don't think it was ever
really
deployed.
Uncomfortable and they leave. Well, it's deployed in the Middle East.
Yeah.
They use it to make crowds disperse around.
So
like,
the first episode for today, we should probably intro the stream actually. The first episode for today, that's starting in 2 minutes, is Badda-Bing, Badda-Bang, which is a casino heist episode. It's pretty good.
Big bada boom.
Badda-Bing, Badda-Boom.
I love that it hinges on someone having to go to the bathroom.
What? Oh, that. Okay.
Every time in Star Trek, going to the bathroom is relevant.
Our last, final light episode.
Oh yeah, everything after this is gonna, murder and plotting and assassinations.
And then the 9 episode or what have you arc to the end.
Yeah, we're not watching that.
It is the 9 episode arc after this. Yeah.
I like when they use the holodeck without stakes.
Excuse me, it's a holo suite. This is DS9.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Jeez.
How dare you, whatever? It's so important.
In the Next Generation movies in the Enterprise E, somebody labels the holodeck the holo suite. I think in First Contact, right? Somebody got a little confused in the art department because they just finished Deep Space Nine. They're like, well, not just finished, but still going on.
Literally unwatchable. Complete violation of canon. Worst show I've ever seen.
It's
just the worst.
We're never watching.
It's not the best movie.
What, First Contact?
It's okay.
So, well, I have a short story, but we're about to start. 10 seconds to start. Everyone be queued up to Badda-Bing, Badda-Bang. And we're going to press play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Play. Speaking of movies, I keep banging on about how I have jury duty tomorrow, but one of my favorite movies is literally just Jury Duty.
With Pauly Shore?
I don't know any of the names of the actors, but it's 12 Angry Men. It's black and white and it's old.
Oh, yeah, that one.
Oh, I thought you meant the movie Jury Duty with Pauly Shore.
No, not the. It's about jury duty. It's not called Jury Duty.
Okay.
That's a good
Okay,
movie.
well, that's different.
It's really good though. Highly recommend it. Oh, come on, Vic. You're a real boy now. Come on, go out and have some fun with your friends.
They're going to move his program over to the Alamo.
This episode is going to have a lot of unnecessary singing in it.
Yeah, they said they'd move his
Fine.
Matrix over.
Is this in?
Oh, what if they get Vic the Mobile Emitter?
This and baseball episode are probably the best holodeck episodes.
Yeah. This
The Bond episode is pretty
baseball
amazing.
and
Bond
Nog's
episode,
leg.
yeah.
And well, maybe
Bond's a
Fistful of
third, though.
Datas.
They got in trouble for that Bond episode.
Oh, why is that?
The Bond
the
people
estate
yelled at
of-
them.
Yeah, the
Mr.
estate
Claus.
of what's his name? They wanted royalties.
At the end of the Bond episode, they're like, "Oh, I think it's safe to say that Julian Bashir's secret agent will make a return," and then he never did because the Bond copyright holders got mad.
Well, I think that he does, but it took a long time because they had to settle that lawsuit.
He shows up in like
Hey.
one scene, and it's just Julian in a suit in a car, talking to Odo. Is his last name Eyes?
No, it's just a nickname.
It's a gangster name, you know, like Tommy Two-Face or
Also, Frankie Eyes is
Tony-
clearly a
Tony the
reference to Frank Sinatra.
But Vic Fontaine is Frank Sinatra.
Yeah, I know, but like they're Frank Sinatra
It's
was
Frank
famous
Sinatra
for his
versus
blue
Frank
eyes.
Sinatra?
Essentially, yes. Also, Vic Fontaine is technically just like a Rat Pack era singer. He's not really Frank Sinatra.
I don't really know a lot about Frank Sinatra. Was he famous for, like, what's it called? Strong-arming people? Did he blackmail
No, he
people?
just Frankie is obviously Frank, and Frank Sinatra was famous for having startling blue eyes.
Okay. What's Cheech from?
He looks like
Same
Evan
thing.
Sopranos, but he's not.
If this is supposed to be like a realistic takeover, why did it happen immediately? Why did everything phase out of existence and turn into this casino?
I guess you'll just have to find out. Mystery.
Like some kind of jack-in-a-box.
we're gonna have to ask Mr. Felix off screen. That's his last name.
Mr. Felix? His
Lighter.
name is Felix Felix?
No, Felix off screen.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is he
Oh.
friends with Brunt?
Is Felix friends with Brunt?
Yeah.
Brunt FCA, please.
Yeah, is Felix off-screen friends with Brunt FCA?
I don't
No,
know.
because
Maybe.
Brunt FCA is always on screen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe they're the same person. That's his off-screen
Well,
persona.
it is Jeffrey Combs. I wouldn't put it past him.
He can do everything.
Look,
He could
I
be
really hate
anyone.
when people...
He's everybody in this voice chat right now.
Yes, I
True.
really hate when people are just needlessly negative about the new shows, and it's like, oh, I don't like anything new or different, looking at you. But, one
Coming out.
thing I will say about them that I really don't like, they don't include Jeffrey Combs. It's a
Yeah,
deep
why is
disappointment.
there no Jeffrey Combs? What is this? Does he not want to show up? What's going on?
He's an
Maybe.
actor who probably wants a job, so I assume he'd show up if offered. They pay him money.
Does the job pay money? Yeah, I am there. Son of a bitch, I'm in.
I,
Yeah, it's
I love
outrageous,
those.
really.
I love those article headlines that are like, "Oh, famous actor would consent to return for new movie." It's like, yeah, actor wants job. What do you want? Of course
I
he
was gonna
would.
say I hate those so much. Or they'll ask someone from a canceled show, like, whether they think the story is done, and they say no, and they're like, headline. It's like, of course they're going to say that. On the off chance that there's some sort of reboot or revival, yes, they would like job.
I think there are actually interviews with Jeffrey Combs about that. It's like, oh, if they offered you a role in the new Star Trek series, would you accept? It's like, yeah. Oh, money. I
Really
love money.
outrageous.
Frankie's a made man, huh? Oh, did you ever see Goodfellas?
Good movie, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you
No,
remember
but feel
when
free to spoil it.
Joe Pesci's character killed the made man?
Yep.
There's been like 6 seasons of new Trek out already, and short treks, and no Jeffrey Combs.
So if Vic Fontaine lives in the hotel, is Frankie Ice going to let him stay? Does he have to respect the lease? He didn't respect the contract for the venue. Where does he go? I don't know why I went so high pitched there for a second. But where did he go?
Where'd it go?
Don't be so close-minded, Worf. Jeez. You see, Felix, maybe if you had this more of a slow introduction, it would have felt more natural to the program. You can't just have everything phase out and then phase back in all evil. Man. So what do you guys lay odds on for the stream crashing today?
One in
It is
six.
DS9, so historically speaking, the odds would seem higher.
True, true. DS9 is a cursed series for this.
You open up hardware info or GPU-Z and just check your memory T junction and see graphics card memory T junction, see where it's at.
And the Deep Space Nine crew are gamers. Disgusting.
They're
Gamers.
gamers because
I heard that
they use
gamers are the most
holodeck.
oppressed group.
See, Cisco he doesn't respect the gamers.
It's not like they're doing anything. Why can't they talk about their game? They're just
I
hanging
mean, I do
out.
appreciate they go straight back to it the second the boss is gone.
Yes,
Yeah.
as you do.
As you do.
So if I open up hardware monitor and watch my temperatures, will you stop telling me that my temperatures are the problem for every cause from the common cold?
Well, I'm curious to see because that is a known issue with 3090s.
Well, it's
What's
only
that different-
showing.
Go ahead.
It's only showing me my my core temperature, not my specific VRAM temperature.
I mean, even Cisco's girlfriend is a gamer. Outrageous.
Yes, she is.
You need hardware info 64 or GPU-Z to see the memory T junction.
Stream my temperatures? Yeah, I could put the temperatures on stream.
How big is your power supply?
I think it's 1200 watts.
Oh, Jesus. Okay,
It's
you're fine
fine,
there.
There was this really, it might be only 1,000, but it's enough
Only
anyway.
1,000 is 3090.
Yeah, it's 1,000. Oh, that's what
why
I
built
wanted to
computer
do.
1,000
I was
unheard
concerned
of.
that my what's it called? The uninterruptible power supply. I was concerned that might be failing, so I wanted to swap it out for just a power strip, but I forgot to do that. So I'm not going to rule that out as a cause.
I don't think that should be a problem.
It was making some weird funky noises before, so I'm concerned about its power delivery.
Yeah, I mean, even if the battery's no good anymore, it should still pass through electricity fine.
Hypothetically, I don't trust it.
He doesn't trust it like any fact I give him.
No, I don't trust any fact you give me.
I'll say Cisco's rationale for not liking the program is kind of shaky.
Ah, of course. How do you beat up a hologram? How does that
With
work?
another hologram.
Another hologram. Could you ask the computer to clean your shirt? That should work. What if you went into the holosuite into the casino with a gun?
They didn't take a vacation, but they sure as hell just randomly left for dumb reasons.
Okay, this is gonna take a little bit of time to set up. Hang on. There's hardware info on stream, but you won't really be able to see anything because it's so small. Give me a second.
Oh yeah, David, I get it. Like, for Avery, it's a thing, but I mean, it's it's so separated time-wise at this point. It's shaky.
Okay, Robo, if you want to monitor my GPU temperatures, there you go. You can watch them to your heart's content.
Are we watching your GPU temperatures?
Because he won't shut up about my GPU temperature. Also, I forgot to stream the timestamp for Discord. There you go. We're at a solid 70C on the VRAM. Badda-Bing, Badda-Bang! What a title drop! That's, I feel like that's a kind of mistake you should be fired for. You really need to be able to trust your hitman. You need a good working relationship with your hitman.
Yeah.
Oh, are there any more stats on my hardware info you'd like to see? Is that a no?
That's probably enough.
Okay. Oh wait, I scrolled down. I'll fix
Can
it.
you
Give me a
capture
second.
power draw for the GPU? Does it have the
GPU power draw?
GPU
Maybe
power?
once I fix this, because I scrolled on it and now it's all messed up. And now I have to find where the scroll position was before. There it is. GPU power draw? Yeah, I can get that. Video engine load, that's all there. GPU clock, memory clock, core voltage.
If you crash, we'll have the VOD to see what it was when you crashed.
Okay, I'm gonna have to need to adjust this a little. Don't worry about this. We're still watching Star. Just, I'm just also watching temperatures.
Obviously.
I'm gonna need another window of that. You know what? No, I'm limited to temperatures. That's enough. We're fine. We're sticking with temperature. Ooh, what's that on the left? Is that licorice? In this dingy 60s
Bunch
casino
of pens.
filled with gangsters, is that licorice?
Looks like pens Or straws?
Why do they have so many? Yeah, it's got to be straws. Why would you have that many pens?
Yeah, lots
I
of
love
fill.
Odo's suit.
Technically, yes, he's still naked, but it's a
It's
nice
so
suit.
cute.
What even is stickball? Is that just baseball?
I think so. Just baseball with
Okay.
like
Uh,
neighborhood.
No, no,
street
no.
game related to
Stick played in the
baseball.
street.
Yeah,
No, it's
usually
not
formed as
tax-free.
a pickup game.
Vic, it's not tax-free. You have to pay tax on your skim. Jesus, are you crazy? What's wrong with Zemo? It is nice that with 26 episodes we can get this kind of thing. This does not add to the plot of the show at all, but it's amazing. Don't worry about it, Vic. You don't even exist. If you die, it's just you get deleted. We can
Which
get
for him is
another Vic.
dying.
What if you walked in with a phaser? I know they said it has to be period specific, but I mean, what'll happen if they just ignore that rule? Does it just kill Vic off screen? Also, I don't think I can set my temperatures to Kelvin. Seems unlikely. Ooh, I think I can put my power output to a different position. Yeah. Okay, so what power output do you want? I can do percent load. It doesn't give me an exact, like, watts or anything.
There should be a wattage for the GPU, but
Oh, there it is. GPU power. I see it now. I just have to adjust the layout so it goes higher in the order. Okay, there's that. Now I have to find the correct position again.
The Deep Space Nine theme.
The Deep Space Nine theme on what were they even playing on? What was that?
I know, but it's jazzy and cool, and I wish there was a full rendition.
saxophone,
Yeah, I think it's a
trombone, trumpet.
True pros use Rankin? No, true Star Trek fans use Ankyans, the Romulan measurement system. Also, there's the GPU power for you. It is currently 120 watts.
I say, what is this in kilocams?
Kellicans are a unit of distance.
Not of
Yeah.
temperature?
Not that George Lucas
Normal.
would know.
Yeah.
Don't make it weird, Cheech. Is she? I doubt that Esri's ever been a waitress. That seems unlikely. I think she's lying to this hologram.
I don't know. She's had a lot of experience
Well, it's just that,
of Dax.
sure. I'm thinking about Esri Teagan in her past life
Mm.
before she was joined. Because she worked for the family business in a mining company, I would assume.
I don't think Ezra Teagan has done anything like that.
I mean, it probably isn't that hard. You can just
Mm-hmm.
get a job doing it. But, you know,
Well, she's role playing, okay?
yeah.
It's a video game.
Literally a video game episode. Wait, was Cheech the guy that was killed in Dumb and Dumber? Cheech?
Seen that film.
Does anyone here want to be in my shield? Patreon.com/Ryan's channel. Go post my videos on the Star Trek subreddit. They don't like it when I post them there. They don't like it when people post their own stuff.
The general Reddit rule, and I tend to ignore it. Because the people that don't like you doing it, we're never going to watch anyways, and you might reach a few people, so.
Why did he get rid of... Well, I know he got rid of Vic Fontaine because of a childhood thing. God, don't be so judgmental, Cisco. But, you know, Frankie, you gotta treat this like
really
a business.
needs to crack down.
Vic is a good singer. Keep him in the hotel. Keep him as a singer. Leave the past behind. It's a business.
Did Cisco leave the past behind when he played baseball as Solok? I don't think so.
Forget the past. Kill it if you have to.
Yeah.
Now, this feels a lot more realistic than Uhura saying, "Why should we fear words? In our time, we've learned not to attach value to such things." When Abe Lincoln calls her a slur. Well, not exactly a slur,
Also,
but it sounds
Ben
like
Cisco literally lived this as, what's his
Yeah.
name, Benny Russell. So it's natural that he'd be really sensitive about it.
I feel like I need to quote what Lincoln said for context, but I don't think I can on YouTube.
Sure.
Also, Captain Picard loved his video games. Cisco loves his video games as long as they're sports games. Ben Cisco is the kind of gamer who just buys every Madden game, except for baseball. I don't know what the baseball league is called.
NBA, I think. No, that's basketball. I'm dumb.
Am I particularly passionate of how my ancestors were treated? Well, my ancestors were German, so I probably shouldn't be.
Oh, you did not hear what they were talking about through that wall, Cisco. That's a lie.
It's a hollow. Yeah, it's a hollow suite. It's not a real wall. Don't worry about it. Captain's privilege, he has an override where he just hears everything that happens.
Everything.
Well, you did
Have
join
you
a
seen that
crime
before?
syndicate, Colin. Or,
I don't remember.
Wait.
Miles.
Now you got me messed up. Column.
Colin.
Column.
How's that different than a row? Wait, Rose Bajoran. Never mind.
And that could have been Roe, right there. But no.
Could have been.
Michelle Forbes didn't want a steady job.
I think Michelle Forbes. I mean, boy, it's a tough choice between Michelle Forbes and Nana Visitor.
I think she would have done just fine.
I think she would have been fine. I'm just saying, like, who would I rather have had? Why not both? Can we just have both? Could we have had two?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, Cisco would have had his hands full. He'd been like, what am I supposed to do? He's caught between the Starfleet Ensign Row and then... Well, I guess she wouldn't be Starfleet anymore, would
She's
she?
Maquis.
She's Maquis.
But then that wouldn't have
found a way
happened
to bring her back.
if Kira was Roe, then she wouldn't be Maquis because the Maquis only happened after.
If Kira
Yeah.
was Roe...
I wish
know
they
what I'm
brought Ro
saying.
into Deep Space Nine. Should have been a good
I
villain.
get what you're saying. A villain?
Yeah, like a Maquis person.
And then she
Oh.
would have died. Well, she probably does die.
She
in
could
the
have worked with
Dominion War.
Eddington in those episodes and made them better.
Ro is probably dead right
No,
now
she would've
because the Dominion wiped out the Maquis.
Mm-hmm.
They couldn't do that because then Eddington wouldn't have mattered. Like it wouldn't. Nobody would have cared about Eddington. It would have just been about Roe.
Nobody cares about Eddington anyway,
I care about Eddington.
except Cisco. Cisco really
What
hates
was the guy's name that was the
Lieutenant Brimman?
the fellow commander that betrayed
Hudson.
Starfleet early on?
Oh, Cal
Cal
Hudson.
Hudson, thank you.
Also, you'll be glad to know my temperatures have moved up slightly by 2 degrees, and now they're back down to 70.
No.
Yeah, 70's fine. Mine were getting up to 100, so well, they are.
My
getting up to
GPU is also
100.
not really doing much of anything. This isn't
There's the
stressful
episode
for
where
it.
they call him Noggles.
Goggles?
Noggles.
Noggles. I
There's
don't.
an episode of Deep Space Nine where what's his name? Vic refers to Nog as Noggles, and it's the worst
I
thing.
don't remember that.
I think it's either this episode or the one where he loses his leg.
Yeah, it's the leg one.
Noggles.
And it's good to see Nog is completely over the leg thing now.
Mhm.
Not even going to mention it. Everything's fine.
Well, that's why he's invested in the
Yes.
heist. Otherwise, he wouldn't care about the heist.
So who's running the station?
Night
The
shift.
entire senior staff is here.
We never get to see the night shift of Deep Space Nine, do we?
No.
They don't have a data that can run it.
Did they switch to the four
Wait,
shift
they have that.
rotation?
They have an AI that's in the computer.
The
Remember?
pup? No, that was probably
they
destroyed
adopted?
when... Pup is probably dead from the Dominion when they took over.
Well, maybe they didn't
Well,
even
from the
realize it
one
was
time
there.
that they
and
replaced
since
the
it,
entire memory bank with the
Yeah.
crew. And
That as well. Pup has
And
died like 4
it makes
times.
the computer work better.
Not anymore,
No, it's
doesn't.
gotta be there still.
It used to make the computer work better.
This episode is like Ocean's 11.
Yes, it's a heist movie.
Yes.
How
Correct.
come Odo is not fully dressed? He's a shapeshifter. He doesn't actually have to put on the suit.
he's role playing.
But he just forms the whole thing at once. Why does he only have the shirt? I don't get it.
Because he's playing a human.
Okay.
I didn't.
But do you
See what
think
you
if he
guys-
takes off his suit coat, it's still him? It's just it stays like suit coat. It doesn't turn into a big pile of goo when he takes it off. How
How
does that
large
work?
of a pile of
Let's see
goo
how-
does he have to have for it to be sentient? Is every
Is he
drop of him
controlling
sentient?
it, or is it a separate entity? And once he separates himself from it, and then he recombines and it merges the memories together.
Yeah, how come he never
The drop
clones
becomes
himself?
the ocean.
How come he never duplicates himself and just makes 2 sentient Odos?
Oh, hi, Morn. Bye, Morn.
Could you be?
Maybe he does that.
Would it
Maybe
be
he
better
does
to
that
get?
like to catch
like-
criminals.
Would it better to be to tackle a criminal with 1 regular-sized Odo or 4 quarter-sized Odos?
Well,
It'd
you
be
know
the
his
exact
density
same.
is variable.
Or
So
Odo
he
shaped sized Odos.
his volume and density, he could make 4 regular sized Odos. You know, we've seen him change into a bird or a rat.
Yeah, they
You know,
explicitly
so-
say. I think it's Dr. British. He says that Odo can alter his mass and density somehow by some evil magic.
He should make himself as big as Spock too. That would probably be best.
That's a big
Um,
Spock.
I wanted to really say how great it was that Cisco points out that this place would have been segregated. I wasn't able to hear what you guys were saying, but
I was saying how
and
it's
then the
better than
next-
TOS's attempt at doing this.
And then the next thing is Cisco walking in. So I haven't seen Roots yet, but you can see it meant a lot to him to like do this part.
The most
Oh,
important note
it's
there
unrealistic.
is that
I mean,
Geordie
this is
LaForge is the main character in Roots. That's all we need to know.
That whole scene where he's talking about segregation is 100% an Avery Brooks thing. It's not a
Yeah.
Yeah.
canonical thing.
Well, I
It
mean,
makes no sense for Cisco.
it's still canonical. It happened on screen.
Oh, not makes no sense for the character.
Okay.
That's what I meant to say.
I don't know. I guess he's just still strongly affected by his Far Beyond the Stars experience.
That does make more sense.
I mean, people get real attached to the history of their people.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing though. The idea that they would have even thought of themselves as like our people was a little strange to me. But like Ryan said, though, the Far Beyond the Stars experience may have given him.
Also, Esri specifically told what's-his-face, Frankie, that she was a very good waitress, and I think that just was proven not to be a lie.
And
your first day on the job, and you spill every drink.
Yeah.
Like in Star Trek First Contact, the Ruby says to Captain Picard in the holodeck, "Watch your caboose and dump the broad."
That's Gowron.
Is it really?
That is absolutely. That's Robert O'Reilly. Look at the eyes.
He does have the eyes, doesn't he?
That's pretty cool.
So you and your cows.
And your count. What accent are you doing, Gowron?
I ever had.
What's that supposed to be? Oh, that's a weird camera angle.
Beginning of the end. And then in Discovery, we have the spinning camera.
We got some crazy camera in, like TNG especially. They love doing weird camera angles. Not as much as Discovery, but they'll like tilt the camera like solid 45 degrees to the left when the ship is listing.
Yeah.
Have everyone throw themselves at a wall. Are there any other guest stars here? Or are they all just extras? Or new characters?
There's a TOS episode. Go ahead.
I think Gowron's the only main guy that shows up.
There's a TOS episode where everyone's two races are, one left half is white, the other half is black, and the other is the other way around. The right half is white and the left half is black. So at the end, Uhura mentions, imagine having hostility over something as like pointless as that or something. And so like at the time, okay, I guess it would be like in the future, they couldn't even imagine why we'd say that. But to have Nichelle Nichols say that line in the 1960s was kind of a jerk move because, yeah.
What?
Well, she said like she couldn't understand why people would have unremitting hostility because of skin color.
They were portraying a future where that wasn't a thing. That's the whole point. That's what actually made that a really powerful moment. Is that here you have, you know, an African American actress on the bridge of the starship, an officer, you know, an important role. And she's like, what? What? She had never experienced racism in her life.
Right.
So it's like, it's a future where racism doesn't exist. It was such an alien concept to her.
That was a big deal.
Yeah. So I have a completely unrelated question. Mm-hmm. Kira and Zemo, does it count as cheating on Odo if he's a hologram?
Oh, because Odo's well aware of it and okay with that.
This is ethical non-monogamy, okay?
It's he knows he's a cop.
Well, sometimes I guess the question is it still monogamy if he's a hologram?
Depends if he's sentient.
What are the logistics here?
I think a lot of people would have this section. Like,
oh look, it's the man who always plays a gangster. I don't know his name, but I know he's a gangster.
looks like Ducat, but old.
Kinda. Frankie and him trying to get with Kira
Looks
also
like
reminds me
Ducat
of
looks like now.
It's not that great.
Wow.
So this guy was in that episode of TNG with the Gatherers, where it's like the pirate people who run around and raid places to get resources,
Right.
and it's the
And
like
Yuta.
90-year-old woman who still looks like she's 25 and touches people to kill them.
Yep.
He's the first guy that we see
Makes
on
Riker
screen
some
get
soup.
touched by her and die.
And everyone assumed he died of old age because he's ancient.
Yeah, he was ancient. He died the actor died in 2005 at age 95, so he lived for a good long time.
Yep. Oh yeah, back when they first got to the safe, and it was like, oh, Kira didn't tell me it had this kind of locking mechanism. Odo immediately went to defend her. It was like, well, she didn't know. Why are you blaming her? Why would you say that? She's fine. She gave you all the information she had. She's very good at her
It's
job.
really defensive. It's true.
Okay, no, don't go out back. Just get in your car and leave. Just leave. Gangster mob boss calls you out back to talk. No, no, no. Skip town.
Oh, Robert O'Reilly is credited in this episode as Bobby Riley.
Bobby Riley.
Yep.
Okay.
Maybe you thought it sounded more like a gangster name.
Is he little Bobby or big Bobby? The subtitle said Cheetah's name is spelled Cicci. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay.
The jazz Deep Space Nine theme is just so good.
I bet there's someone who did an instrumental of it.
I've looked for it a few times. I can't find anything.
They have a great jazz soundtrack in the background of this whole episode because like when they were even plotting and the whole thing of like how long they had 9 minutes to do the whole thing. They had a good sax going on in the background.
That's cool.
It's not the music from this episode, but there is an album called Smooth Federation. It's just a guy who made a jazzy version of all the Star Trek, not all the Star Trek music, but a bunch of Star Trek music.
Yep, nice.
All right, I'm going to link something in the Discord general chat, and you can let me know if that's what you're looking for. There are a few different jazz songs, so that might not be the right one.
You'll have to listen to this.
Hey, Cassidy, chill out.
It's just acting.
This is wonderful.
Gotta distract the fake football man.
Yeah.
Oh, his name is Ryan. Look at that name tag on the football man. Never mind, he's my new favorite character.
Wow.
I hope we see lots more of him.
Look at that big, strong man doing his best to protect the people. Standing at his post, being all professional. Comforting as needed. Ryan is the best character in the show. I mean, never mind the sexual assault, really, of Miles O'Brien. That's just typical. Miles O'Brien has to suffer.
Yeah. At least he didn't suffer on screen this time.
Yeah. Does it count as sexual assault if it's a hologram? There are a lot of
Yeah.
questions about the
Yes.
ethics of holograms.
Yes.
Can he sue Felix? I guess the question is for what?
Safety protocols prevent this.
I don't think the safety protocols are
no,
on.
They just make sure
Yeah.
no one actually gets hurt.
I think they're on.
No, you can have all the psychological trauma that you want. It's the physical trauma.
The,
They can't break his bones.
So
see,
None
I
of
that's
get
the
my
targets
printer.
are-
That instant phase out is really killing the immersion.
Yeah.
So I've got my 3D printer working, and I
Yes.
decided the first model I'm gonna
Nice.
print is a 1 in 4,000 scale Excelsior.
wow, that's a good
cool.
pick.
Cool.
So this thing
gonna
happened
paint this?
because I think like a former officer on Deep Space Nine, they programmed VIX to have this incident, and nobody could override the holodeck programs.
Yes,
The guy
Felix.
who created
Felix,
the program.
Yeah,
Who's
built
Felix?
it in.
When do we see?
The creator of the program.
Okay, thanks.
He's Mr. Felix off screen.
Okay, thanks.
Like I said, that's his.
All
His
right,
last name
let's
is-
let Vic and Cisco do the singing here. We wouldn't want to override their smooth tones. But while they're doing that, where's the chief?
Yeah.
He's fixing everything that went wrong in the last couple days while he's been in here.
Yeah, did the strip search not phase out of existence? What happened? Where is he?
Yeah.
Didn't he show up before
Good
they started
question.
singing?
Did he? I don't know. I'm watching my GPU temperatures. It's very important.
Because he does show up and say, Julian asked him where he was. and
Right, I
he
guess
says,
that
"I
already
wanna talk about
happened.
it."
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure the episode goes out on the song.
Man, not a single triangle. It's been so long. It's been a long road.
Maybe- What if the guy with
Getting
the
from
drum
there to here?
is a triangle?
Oh, I should get a. I also get a sovereign class too, and do a 4,000 scale sovereign class.
The best is yet to come, Ryan. When
Yeah,
it
there
comes
he
to
is.
triangle ships.
The triangle ship.
You have to make a triangle ship for Ryan.
I can just get a
Are you going to
triangle ship.
paint
It's not
them?
that
Oh, he
hard.
can check a triangle ship.
Do you have
He
a
has
Do you have a printer, right?
Yeah.
You have a model of it already, right?
No, but I could find one. Also, the GPU is not 120 watts at rest. It is doing stuff because it's got to, do the stream and it's doing NVIDIA's noise filtering. It's working. Just not all that hard. It's like 20-25% usage.
I did find a triangle ship model a while ago, but it did not render correctly in the slicer.
Oh, I scrolled and now it's wrong.
No.
There we go.
It was not designed for 3D printing. It was just a 3D model that I found.
Oh,
Just another Jaeger
Yeah.
class. Why did they switch to the Jaeger class from the triangle docking? I liked the triangle docking.
You just want extra
Just
triangles.
wartime.
Whatever.
The triangles, yes.
Yes,
civilian
very
ship.
explicitly
Yeah.
I do want
The
extra
Jaeger
triangles.
class is cool.
It's the... Okay.
Server ban, please. I vote for that.
Let me move this over here so we can see the schedule. What's the next episode? Inter Arma, Enim Sealant Legis. I don't know how to pronounce that in Latin. I don't know.
That's exactly right.
Okay. I mean, I assume
Is
the accent is
Elam a
wrong.
coincidence?
Say again?
Is the Elam a coincidence?
It's not.
It's
It's
not
Not
Enim.
Elam Garrick.
Einem.
Enim.
Oh, I'm
or
dumb.
Enim. I don't know. One
what's the
minute to
difference
it, whatever it is.
between a regular STL and FDM STL?
The letters.
I'm not sure.
Oh. Interesting. It's in pieces, I think is what that means.
Okay. So yeah, this
been
episode
cut
is all
into-
about going to a convention and things don't go wrong en route.
Wow.
They actually get there. And
they
then
borrow
things go
Voyager
wrong.
sets.
Yes. The Voyager set that's supposed to be the captain's dining room and was converted by Neelix, but is also a dining room here.
No. The dining room was the kitchen part, but it's actually still the mess
Hang on.
hall.
Press play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play.
Are you saying that Voyager's mess wasn't always its mess?
No, it always
The
was.
Voyager's
mess hall.
The kitchen was.
Yeah, the part that Neelix turned into a kitchen was Captain Janeway's private dining room.
Okay.
The kitchen is clearly attached to the mess and has like an open wall. Did Neelix demolish a wall?
Yeah.
Uh,
It's not
maybe.
a load-bearing
Yes, he
wall.
did.
It's fine.
It's not load bearing. As though it was built out of
Structural
2x15
integrity
drywall.
fields exist, so nothing is load bearing.
Or everything is load bearing?
Oh, right. Blur the screen. So, we've had Senator Kretak before, but that's a different Senator Kretak.
It's a different actress. It's the same character.
I know. That's what I mean. It's a different woman playing Senator Kretak.
Maybe Kretak is a really common last name.
I always
Do
think that
Romulans have
Kretak
first
is
and last
played
name?
by Carolyn something. The lady who plays the Romulan captain in Troy's episode.
Oh no, that's not her.
I know it's not her, but whenever I think Kretak, for some reason I think of her. So previously, Senator Kretak. This was. Wait, is this the Derna episode?
No, that happened already.
That happened already? Yeah, this senator was super reasonable before, had a Jumja stick, then developed a military installation on Bajor's moon, which was uncool. And now everything's fine again. They're perfectly happy together.
Well, so there was definitely some underlying tension between her and Kira there.
It's fine. They're best of friends. Ooh, don't they cover this bit? Well, doesn't he cover this bit in A Stitch in Time, the book that Garrick wrote?
Yes, as a matter of fact.
Because I
read
just
that
bought that book. Now I need to go and get to the backstory of
It's
Elim
an
Garrick.
okay book. It does not exposit as much as I would have liked,
Okay.
but it's good.
We started the episode.
Yes.
Yeah.
The timestamp you can see on Discord
you.
stream. Don't go
No,
to the
thank you,
YouTube
thank
stream,
you.
use the Discord.
Sorry, but what I was gonna say was I read something interesting in an academic paper, and this might be an accusation that maybe there's all kinds of crazy stuff in academic papers, but I always thought Star Trek was a colorblind show. Watching TNG, like they had Geordi as the chief engineer, and like it showed like an equal society. But then I read a paper like in my last year of college. It kind of just showed how like Star Trek still displays like whiteness as a value, and like all the other races, like Klingons would be too aggressive, or Romulans would be too sneaky. But like, or so the scientific technological utopia that's portrayed, everyone's good as much as they follow within the context of whiteness.
They
And,
definitely follow more of an American or European culture in the
Yeah, there's
Federation.
definitely like a Western morality to the whole
What is
show.
meant by whiteness? Because that just sounds like garbage
It's
that's
very
being churned out.
I took
Yeah,
it to mean it like
I agree.
American European culture style.
Anyway,
Western
thanks-
cultural.
A lot of social science.
Why do you gotta be so
Partially
creepy about it, Sloan? Why
universities.
can't you just knock? Or ring the doorbell? Why do you gotta stare at people while they sleep?
Like
Because if you
Section
ring the
30
doorbell, it gets recorded.
Section 31 is clearly the CIA, right? Like, so it's
What?
like you're being co-opted.
Hang on. No, what if
No,
what if
Section
Julian just
31
doesn't
is like
wake
the
up?
Men
How
in
long is
Black.
Sloan gonna stare at him?
Even worse.
Yeah, it's true.
He's been there for
Yes,
2
but
hours.
Sloan
watching
just,
him.
injected him with magic thing that makes him wake up. He just
Does
doesn't
Sloan
know.
at some point? When does Sloan like gently shake his shoulder and be like, "Wake up, Julian! It's time to go. We've got a murder to plan."
I
I
think
really
like
wish that
Yes?
Section 31 wasn't a thing. The worst thing Deep Space Nine ever did.
It's a little odd.
I like it.
Like it's fine in Deep Space Nine, but its legacy has caused so much damage.
And it's been written into Discovery, which is kind of cool.
Oh my god.
Well, I mean, it says it's like part of the Federation Charter, kind of, right? So that's why it's
It's
outside
part
of
of the
Starfleet.
Starfleet Charter. It even predates the
They're like
Federation.
named after the Starfleet Charter.
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
weird.
Which is like, well, that's MI6 and MI5 are the.
Yeah.
I don't
Well,
remember
see,
exactly what document
Robo's
the
correction-
numbers come from, but similar thing.
Robo's correction was correct. The CIA reports to Congress. I mean, they're held accountable to the Intelligence Committee, which is granted closed doors, but that's kind of what the nature of that is. So, an unaccountable agency is really definitely not supposed to be Trek. You're right about that, Moon.
There is one agency that's always accountable, and that's the IRS.
Badum.
That's a good one.
Oh, thank you. Okay, now the
This-
episode actually starts.
This episode is from Cicero, the Roman orator and
That
senator.
seems unlikely. I don't think Cicero said anything about sci-fi or space stations.
No, he means the title.
I know.
During times of war, the law falls silent.
I know, because Julian Bashir is going to loudly and dramatically proclaim that at the end of the episode. The Government Accountability Office, do we have such a thing? That doesn't sound like something that exists in the U.S. government.
There it is. That is a thing.
There is.
Yeah.
Do they do anything? What do they...
I mean, generally.
It sounds like once a year they'll say, "Yep, the government's really
Reports.
accountable, guys.
No, I mean they
Keep employing me."
they publish shit about things being not okay, but it doesn't tend to amount to much.
Action Tracker. Month in Review. Let me look at the month in review. For July 2021. Oh god, there's a lot of things here. What do we want? Agriculture and Food. Homeland Security. Yeah, what do they say about Homeland Security? Air cargo security, violent extremism. Sure, what's up with violent extremism? According to the U.S. Government Accountability Office. Accountability. So we have 10 years to conquer them. Whatever happened with the Klingon Empire, like, dying after after Praxis? Wasn't Kronos
They
about to
rediverted
run out of
their
air?
military funding to save themselves, basically.
They fixed Kronos' atmosphere not existing anymore?
I think not we, but the Federation helped.
I don't remember Kronos not having an atmosphere.
I don't remember the specifics, but I remember in some way Praxis screwed it over.
Yeah, it would take about 50 years, but Kronos would have been uninhabitable in 50 years. I believe
It's
that's
been
the-
more than 50. It's still
somehow,
there.
Somehow they forgot about that. Yeah.
Well, they didn't forget about it. It's just that in the lore, we never actually sat down and said, "Okay, let's figure out how we save Kronos from environmental
Julian,
disaster."
why would you even bother looking down that corridor? It's a matte painting.
Also, that's really irresponsible, just pointing the phaser at the first thing you see without realizing what you're pointing it at.
It's also really dumb that phasers have stun and kill settings. They should just have a separate stun phaser.
Yeah, sure, because like, oops, I left it on
Like,
kill.
You don't want the phaser to be misfire.
Yeah, that'd probably be better. Though
Like,
there
just
have
them
been
carry a
instances
stun
of real
phaser
life
you know
cops
what?
taser.
accidentally
How
using
many
their gun
times
instead of
we've
their
heard?
taser.
Yes, there's tons of times actual real life cops use their gun instead of their taser, instead of their stun gun. So I don't know if that would make a difference.
It's still better than having it on
Because
the same
It's gonna make it
weapon.
worse if it's the same gun.
It's
Yeah.
not ideal, but it's better than what we have, I think.
I just want to point out,
And you can
Cisco
always
has
call bullshit. Do you really think it's an accident when a cop shoots someone with a gun instead of a taser? Like, do you
Yeah.
really think that they don't
Yeah,
know what they're doing? The
it-
tasers look completely different.
Not
Yeah,
only
they
that,
look
they're
different,
supposed to
but
wear them.
when your adrenaline is pumping and you're in the heat of a moment and you reach for something, you think you've got one thing, but you've got another.
Okay, this
It
is
can-
gonna
it can happen.
this is gonna escalate quickly. So let's just go back to Star Trek here.
yeah.
I do
Cisco
want
has
to point out
ordered-
that they should be on opposite hips. So like,
Yeah, that too.
Cisco has sorry. Go ahead. Were you?
No,
were
tell
you
me
done
about
with that?
Cisco.
I mean,
I was
Cisco
done.
has ordered. Thank you. Dr. Bashir to join Section 31 before. So, like he said, the next time Sloan gives you an offer, you're gonna take him up on it. So, we're kind of this whole conversation is unnecessary.
Yeah, remember when Section 31 were the bad guys? I do.
Here's a question: Was Cisco in on it and actually pushing
Will
Bashir to do it because he wants Bashir to do it?
Yeah, I wonder about that because like there's clear implications that Cisco doesn't really care all that much about the morality when it gets them what they want. I mean, in the pale moonlight, hello.
Benjamin
like,
Geneva
it's in-
suggestion Cisco.
Yeah, it's entirely possible that Section 31 was like, "Hey, we know you
Oh, it's
did this
Voyager.
this thing, so we're gonna ask you to do it again, except with us."
Wouldn't it stand to reason that Section 31 would be privy to the conversation he just had,
Sure.
considering that they are who they are?
Okay, so out the window,
A lot of
out that window
alcohol
reveals
to
that
drink
we're
on
currently in
duty.
the equivalent of 10 forward. Because we're right at the front of the
I
ship
think-
as it's warping.
I think the mess hall is at the front of the like bridge section of the Intrepid class. I could be wrong though.
Oh, and they also, for the Bellerophon, they did change the registry and the name on the top of the saucer for it. It does
Yeah.
say Bellerophon properly.
Really?
Well, I don't know about the number. They changed the name for sure.
Yeah, so I believe
I thought
if
this
you
was
look
like
at
the
the
Bellerophon or something.
This is the Bellerophon.
How the fuck do I know that?
Because they said it on
What's
the show
wrong
like
with
a
me?
minute ago.
Did
You'd
they?
be good Section 31 material.
I wasn't really
Don't be
paying
surprised
attention.
if you have
Hopefully it
this
was
guy waking up
subconscious.
next to you one morning.
Yeah, so if you look, I posted the Intrepid class top-down view.
I can't really tell where
little-
the mess hall is from that picture.
Well, it's the little indent behind the name and registry number.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that
It's
either.
cool.
Why do you gotta say it weird like that, so Sloan? Bajoran sector. Just call them Bajorans.
Don't you mean Bajora?
No, I did
Yeah.
not mean Bajora. Rob, did you text someone? Because I got a notification that Carl filled out a schedule. Wow.
Maybe. I told him to do it, or else you'll yell at me, and I'll be sad.
Well, I've tried to yell at him, but he doesn't respond to Discord messages.
No, he does
So I have
not.
to yell at you to yell at him. Unless you want to, like, give me his phone number.
I tell him Ryan beats me. It's very sad.
So, you guys remember from TNG Unification? The Romulan proconsul Neural. The pretty
No.
young proconsul.
Yes.
He's gonna show up here. And he's, he aged like 50 years in the last two.
I see.
Him.
Is it because
Oh, wow.
of the
That's supposed to be
disease?
Neural.
Good observation.
He's very. His jawline is insane.
Let me bring up a picture of Naral on stream. Give it a few seconds. This is how Naral looked before. It, slightly different. A little younger. Oh, and there's John Fleck, probably best known to me, as playing Silic in Enterprise.
It's
He has a few
interesting.
different roles, but Silic's the big one.
I did like Cantaloupe Man.
Yes, it is the Sulabang guy.
He's played a number of roles in Star Trek.
Yeah. In fact, let me look him up and see the complete list.
He's got 8 characters. I'm already there.
Well, hang on. How dare you get ahead of me? Let's see. He plays... Oh, yeah, he's the guy that tortures Geordi in the Mind's Eye when he's brainwashing him. He's a Cardassian guard. He's some weird, ugly alien. He's another weird, ugly alien I don't recognize.
Damn, he's played a lot of things.
Ha! He actually only played 7 different characters. They just listed Silic twice. One for his Suliban form, one for his human disguise.
3 times. The Barathan in Cold Front is also him. This is Silic.
Right, dang it. He played 6 different characters.
Yeah, well, they read the script.
The best way to get information. Yeah,
This is a real
who
life-
cares about the Federation Charter, man? Don't be such a buzzkill.
This is a real life law. It's called the Lugar-Biden Agreement, where the U.S. agrees that it's not our policy to assassinate the officials of other countries.
Yeah, we really
It's a
follow
pretty
that one.
funny law.
What about that time we recently assassinated someone from another country?
Yeah, it's...
We
It's been a while.
assassinated a general.
Recently, I
Remember
mean-
that, like last year?
Yeah, I
It's,
remember
it's
this.
our history is full of that.
Yeah.
Once
That's a
again,
good one.
Geneva suggestions.
Yeah.
Good point. Yeah, that was
Geneva Conventions for everyone else, nothing for the United States.
We don't recognize the authority of international courts.
Yep.
Yeah.
The Hague has no
American
jurisdiction in the
folks.
United States, so we can't be war criminals.
Ooh, that's a nice map painting. I like the parallax on there, the subtle parallax. There's only 2 levels to it because it's 2 paintings in front of each other, but it's good.
These are dress uniforms.
I
Yeah,
miss when
they're
the dress
okay.
uniforms were actually dresses. It was a very funny
Yeah.
pun to me.
That's nice.
Worf,
You look good in a
Worf did
dress.
look good in a dress, yes. He was lovely. Oh, that voice, Silic.
It is Silic.
I like these. These
It's our
are really
cantaloupe
dressy.
boy.
I'd love to wear this to a dress party with other people.
The Romulans seem to be moving away from the giant shoulders.
Yeah, he's just wearing a coat. What is this? It still looks somewhat upholstered, but yeah, where's the shoulder?
I miss the TOS Romulan look.
With their weird bull helmets? That's all I remember from TOS Romulans is the helmet.
But this is small talk at a Romulan conference. Do you know how to make biological weapons? Have a
And
good
it
day.
turns out, yes, he does.
Uh-huh.
Well, yeah, like spreading a disease isn't hard, right?
The phage
This-
did,
so
in
this
fact, come from a
conversation
Dominion
about the-
lab. Not the
This
phage, the
conversation
quickening.
The quickening.
The conversation about the virus was engineered by Sloan to give Julian motivation to move against him. So he knew that Julian was never going to play along, really, truly play along. But now that he thinks that this guy wants to create these biological weapons, he'll coerce her into helping him. So further along Sloan's goals.
Right, and he knew that Bashir would go to her because he wouldn't talk to somebody who's interested in biological weapons, obviously. And she establishes that half the people in here are intelligence.
Is that language Romulan? On the
I want
display?
the old dress uniforms back. These are terrible.
It's okay.
What is the middle gray strip? It's
I
horrible.
don't know. Is this what they wear in the TNG movies?
It is. It is what they wear in Insurrection.
With the headdress in that case.
Yeah.
Looks like upholstery for a fancy
Like,
couch.
it looks like he's wearing a vest, but
He
it's
is
not
wearing
a
a vest.
vest. It's
Kind of a
sewn on.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Is that
Yeah.
is that sewn on? I thought that was a jacket.
It's
Nope,
the same
it's
Z level.
Supposed to be a jacket.
Oh,
But-
okay, no, that
Look at
substantially
it,
lowers my
doesn't
opinion
move.
of it now. I thought that was a shirt and jacket.
No, it's supposed to be one because that's how it is in the movies, but this is just TV. So they just like
No, it's the
sew
same in
it
the
on.
movies. It's all one piece in the movies.
No way.
Yes, it is.
Okay. But
Let's
Why
worry
didn't they
about
make
that in a
the
couple weeks
gray
when we
thing
get to the
black
movies.
instead? Like that would have looked significantly better. And get rid of the
I
weird
would-
ribbing.
I would bet that most of these are from the TNG cast too. Like they just reused them.
Oh yeah, because Insurrection has already happened a while
Yeah.
ago.
he has a white collar,
Yeah, that was during the
Um,
Dominion War.
like a priest.
Oh, plenty of time for the war. He'll be fine.
It's
Like
1
a
in 20, and we know
gun?
how well that goes.
It'd look a lot better if the middle thing was black and that was actually a coat or a
Julian
jacket.
Julian thinks
good.
he wants to assassinate him, but really he's checking to see if his asset is going to last as long as he needs him to last.
All right, while this episode is going, I'm going to go ahead and Photoshop that middle bit to be black, see how it looks.
You know,
Should be
Damn, you're really
fairly
going all the
easy.
way.
the term continuing committee comes from the Chinese Communist Party, I assume, because the central committee is what runs the country, and you have to be like elected to it. The entire party is like this giant congress, but then you're elected to the inner committee, and that's who really like makes the decisions in the 5-year plans that they publish.
Yep.
Maybe you're talking to him right now.
What?
That's impossible.
Bellerophon is a famous horse. I think Alexander's great, but I thought that was Bucephalus. And then we looked it up before. But Bellerophon's
I
a
don't
great
know.
ancient history thing.
Why? I mean,
believe-
what? Why couldn't he have good information? That's his whole job. That's what he does, man.
I love Admiral Ross, such a good guy.
He doesn't even need to execute the plan right now. He could just file that information away, find a good opportunity in the future. It's not a big deal. Don't be so dramatic about it.
It's a real shame that they haven't made Section 31 into a proper antagonist, and they want to both sides them.
I don't think Section 31. Wait, what are you referring to?
Like in Discovery.
They
Well,
were
it's
definitely
okay,
not
Admiral
good guys
Ross
in Discovery.
He's gonna take care of him. He's gonna arrest Sloan in just a second, so don't worry about anything.
Admiral Ross. That's a lot of warbirds.
I think they're at Romulus.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
on a Romulan planet of some sort.
Mhm.
Of some kind.
Yeah, I think it is Romulus. At least they played the Romulus
sort of
map
Romulan.
painting that they use.
You know, that's funny. That is exactly how aneurysms happen. There is absolutely no pre-warning for a lot of aneurysms. So,
This is true.
good health and a long life to everyone.
Maybe
Alright,
we'd
hang
all be
on.
lucky to
Miss
go
Star,
unexpected
please
that
direct
way.
your attention to the YouTube stream for judgment.
Oh. YouTube stream. Let me pull it up.
Okay.
Sorry.
Is it better or worse? Is that the question?
Yes.
I don't know. It's a tough call. It might be a little bit worse.
Before,
I
Yeah.
think it's better.
after. I mean, I can make it less dark.
I think the gray goes with the com badge.
I can make it.
His pants are black, so
Yeah,
like
That's
I don't know.
slightly darker than default, but not super dark.
And the gray is part of the duty uniform.
Can you make it his division color?
I don't think blue would be very good, but we should try it.
Give
It's
me a
not
minute.
pure blue.
It'll take
It's
a
like
little
a
time.
kind of a teal-ish.
A lighter gray does look better.
Man, it's so easy to commit a Romulan senator to commit treason. Super easy, barely an inconvenience.
I mean, Garrick did it on a whim.
No, it's true though. The senators are like always dissidents. And
Unless
Nemesis,
they're pretending to be dissidents in order to expose a dissident cell,
right,
and then
kill everybody.
over
who's
on 'em.
found. Yeah. That's what Mao did, by the way. He allowed anyone who's a reformer to come out and like liberalize and just allowed it for like a few months. And he jailed and exiled everybody.
I don't know why you find that funny, but okay.
Sorry. It's just funny because that's what the
All right.
suggestion was.
Here he is in blue. I couldn't get it like exact blue, but it's bluish.
There was an episode of TNG with,
Skeptical.
was it reunification, where that's exactly what happened. They had the senator who was pretending to be a dissident who
I think I guess I like it better than the gray.
As a reminder, let me swap it back to the gray. There's the
division
gray.
color. Did you get the division
The
color?
blue. Yeah, he's blue.
You're so right, Robo, because in like totalitarian societies, like they've shown that people from
Why is it purple?
Because I'm colorblind, man, that's why.
It's not the division color.
journalists have said when they talk to people from countries where like the intelligence service runs everything, like nobody wants to have like just a regular conversation at a coffee shop or a bar with a stranger. It's like you could always be the intelligence service, so I'm not talking to you. Don't ask me
unification,
questions.
when they go to get their soup and it's like, you don't sound familiar. Here, have some soup from a loyal establishment on the house.
Look, folks, our
Yeah,
soup is the
unfortunately.
most loyal. It'd be a shame if he stole your DNA. Remember
No,
when
I really wish we got
Riker
more
was
John Fleck.
horrified when someone stole his DNA?
So they're not on the Bellerophon now. They're in some Romulan
No.
chambers.
So intelligence of people just stand there watching other people at
So Sloan
conferences?
set this up as a test of Julian to see
No,
if
not a
what he would
test.
give up,
Not a test. He just needs to play the part.
or just punishment.
Neither. It's all for the act.
It's for the Federation and to preserve our freedoms.
Didn't the Romulans invite him?
This episode is very well written, though.
It's all right.
Is Bashir's strength augmented? I think it is.
It's not.
He's certainly
Yeah, he is.
faster.
Athleticism, it's hand-eye coordination.
I know his coordination.
But raw brute strength
Yeah.
is that's better.
Well, like
Probably
he's good
not.
at darts, but I don't think he could like
Well, the
wrestle a
question is,
Vulcan or something.
the genetic enhancements are going to depend on one major factor. Does he lift? If he doesn't
Bro.
lift, it doesn't matter how good his genetic enhancements are.
Something funny at the beginning of the episode is when Sloan wakes him up and he's like, I could scream. He's like, yeah, but we know that you wouldn't. It's not dignified because it's not in his psychological profile, which is kind of funny because the actor, I think we looked it up once, but his family is Sudanese royalty.
Bashir's actor.
Yeah, Sadiq al-Tahila Fadil Abdurrahman Muhammad Ahmed Abdul and Makti.
You actually have his name memorized.
Yeah?
It's so long.
He's
Wow.
done it since season 2.
I memorized
Conversation, I was
it
like,
for the
that
stream.
sounds like somebody who's part of a royal family or descended from royalty, and Ryan's like, nah.
His Highness, we
Good
can say
name.
now, right?
I doubt if Sadiq al-Tahila Fadil Abdurrahman Muhammad Ahmed Abdul and Makti thinks of himself as royalty.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. You know that for certain, huh?
No, I said
Well,
I doubt.
You
The
you
the
and him are real go way back, huh?
the character is very dignified.
You guys play racquetball on the weekend. I take it.
No, he plays spring ball.
Spring ball. Well, that's different. Have we ever seen him play spring ball?
I don't bloody know, man. It's all the same.
So
Also, this
Julian
feels like
thinks-
he's just giving up state secrets casually.
and Julian thinks
Maybe making this random doctor a spy wasn't the best idea, Sloan.
yeah, and he's trying to save her life though, because like she looks like a traitor, and he says that
Well, she is a traitor.
no, because she's
She
trying
had good
to save.
intentions, but she's still a traitor.
Yeah, but she was trying to save Tuval's life.
Treason is treason.
She's saving somebody's
the
life.
reason for the season.
who's a
What, you
senator.
expect her to sit in a Romulan prison and be like,
crime
I
is
might have
crime
committed
is
some
crime.
light treason.
Only if she is the worst attorneys.
I'm not saying she's a bad person, but it's still treason. Kimara. I guess that's like all the admirals calling Picard Jean-Luc. If you're higher rank, you just call him
AL.
by their first name.
Big reveal.
So Brian's clone.
Because he's suffering.
It'd be funny if they just had an O'Brien clone that they've been torturing for years.
He can barely see or open his eyes or talk here, and
Can he not, or is
He's-
that makeup? In universe. Obviously, out of universe, they didn't actually beat him. Did they actually beat Sloan?
he lost teeth.
I did like how they set this up earlier when they were doing the dossier on I don't know, on Silic. It was like, oh, believe me, Doctor, a Federation admiral doesn't just die of food poisoning, and now they're bringing it back. They set it up and they're bringing it back. Ooh, that's a big bump on his cheek.
Watching
a lot
this
of exposition.
the first time, it's pretty shocking. You're like, wow, the whole time Sloan was just being a one-man intelligence agency. You're just like stunned.
But we know he has Confederates. We've seen them before. He has at least 2.
That's
He
true.
has an Intrepid class starship.
Most of the time, though, he's just by himself, like talking menacingly to Julian. And like, yeah, he has 2 goons in the background, but come on.
So if you want to kill him, you could just use a gun.
In the episode with like the minions of Orthodoxy, he has a starship, right?
Sloan?
Yeah.
I don't
Like
think Sloan
don't
shows
they
up there.
teleport? Don't they teleport Bashir into a holodeck on a spaceship?
That's just Wei-Yun. That's real Wei-Yun. Wait,
Yeah, no,
Solus
Wei-Yun also
Minion,
has a
I think
spaceship.
we're mixing up several episodes here. Solus Minions of Orthodoxy was the one with Jake Sisko in the baseball card.
Yeah, that's the one. Isn't there a Section 31B plot there? Or am I mashing 2 episodes together?
No, you're thinking of the one where Julian is being investigated as a traitor, and that's all in a holosuite.
Yeah, I thought that was the B plot to the baseball card episode for some reason.
Different episodes.
Yeah, but in that episode he has a ship, right, Sloan?
In that episode, well, we don't see it. The ship that he's transported to is a holographic ship. He's still in the holosuite. He probably has a ship because he needs to leave the
They
station at some point.
hologrammed the Intrepid class holodeck in the holosuite, so he had holoception.
Hypothetically, he could have a holographic holosuite, yes.
It's big brain.
All right. Bye.
That
It's like Moon was saying, you gotta have a phaser for stun and a phaser for vaporize.
Oh,
And
I
then
don't
a
think
phaser for
Romulans have a
something
stun.
else.
Mm-hmm.
You're thinking Klingons.
Andorians, I also know, don't have a stun, at least in Enterprise.
If you can have a stun device, that would be pretty useful, you know? So it's kind of dumb that they don't use them.
Nah, man, the threat of death is such a great motivator for people to stay in line.
Yeah, what if you want to capture someone? Imagine having a ranged weapon that, like, stuns people. That's pretty awesome.
This is my favorite Julian line.
But you don't need it. You can just transport them, surely.
Yeah, that is true. They don't weaponize the transporter enough.
They should.
West Sloan.
They do in Enterprise. One time in Enterprise, they actually use the transporter offensively, and it's amazing.
In Voyager, they teleport a torpedo into a Borg cube and blow
Right.
it up.
Because as the audience, we're clueless, and then Bashir is like giving that quizzical look and just coming over, and it's like, what? Admiral Ross, who guides us through the war, and like he was Sisko's confidant, is working with Section 31.
Robo, my GPU power wattage has gone up by 2 watts. Memory junction temperature is stable at 72.
These are numbers.
Yeah, yep.
They mean stuff, presumably.
Yes.
Yeah, when we asked earlier, was Sisko in on this? I do not think so. Probably because
I don't think so.
I like the character, but I think it's pretty understood here that like Sloan ordered Sisko to order Bashir to go to the conference at the beginning.
So Admiral Ross, I still think he's a good admiral, but you know,
No,
he's
he was a
not
bad
perfect.
admiral.
He's the liaison to Section 31.
One
He's the-
time.
He's the bad admiral. Nechayev
It-
is the only good Merle.
That's the thing. It's not just Picard that had bad admirals. You know, I think Ross is the bad guy here. Like,
Mhm.
Ross is kind of the bad guy here, but I mean, nobody died.
mhm.
Not
Everything's
yet.
okay.
Yeah, if he
Admiral
would have died.
Senator Krenak is going to be.
They killed her
She
career.
might. She might
Oh, yeah,
not die.
Senator Kredak is dead, right? Or she's
Not
going to be dead.
necessarily.
And
She could just
Romulan
be
likes to beat her.
imprisoned.
and she was our ally.
Oh, here she is. And what about your friend, Senator Kretak? She's fine. See, he
Actually,
feels
Julian,
bad
you
about
set
it.
her up. No offense, Julian. No one told you to go get her.
He's acting.
I feel like people taking off their comm badges like they did here is the Starfleet equivalent of like crossing your fingers behind your back.
Uh-huh.
You're
I
allowed to
assume
do
they turn them
anything if you
off when they
cross your
take them
fingers.
out. Like, they're probably always recording unless you turn them off.
Maybe. They're just body cams and nobody asked why the body cam suddenly turned off.
Well, they have to be always recording because people, don't people use their voice to activate them every once in a while? I don't know.
Yeah, all the
No,
time.
no, they don't.
All I know about
The
body
computer's
cams is
always
they
active.
are constantly recording and they can go back, what is it, 3 minutes from when you press the button? It has an instant replay thing. Okay, look, Sudik, I'm on your side, but that acting could use some work.
I know ancient history. I've read all the classics.
Congratulations.
You also went to high school.
We can only hope. The badge is back on.
Only the one badge goes back on. Julian's all angry, so he doesn't count.
Now get out of that office, Ross. Janeway's got to come in.
Sloan, quit with the staring. It's not even creepy, it's just being weird.
But I don't. Do they ever play that dicey with the transporter again? It's like we beam somebody out. Well, Picard in that episode.
I don't remember specific instances, but I seem to remember that there were
Gambit.
very close calls with the transporter.
Yeah. Because the way
Why
it
does
looked,
he
he
wear
was definitely
leather?
vaporized.
Why doesn't he just have a normal shirt?
Clone?
Yeah, why does
It's like
Sloan wear
Burrow said.
leather?
Really edgy.
He's the man in
very
black.
edgy.
Maybe the suit lets him beam in and out 2% faster or something.
Yeah, that's a good theory.
And I was thinking like leather should be easier to clean, maybe, but he doesn't really get his hands dirty
I don't know
anyway.
about that. Like,
Well, I'm
Leather
thinking
do
is-
they
more.
even clean clothes in Star Trek? Don't they just recycle them?
I don't know. I'm thinking more like in the moment though. Like if he gets blood on his shirt, he can wipe it off easier than on cloth.
Yeah,
I wouldn't know
leather's
how to clean
pretty
leather.
hydrophobic, especially if you keep it well oiled.
Oh yeah,
Well,
and
unless
Gambit,
you
they
can't put it
do
in a
have a phase
washing
where that's a
machine.
transporter.
It's because leather
the
jackets
pirates.
equals bad guy. That's
Thank
why.
you. Mhm.
Yeah, pretty much.
Is he wearing leather pants?
Especially leather
Yes.
Does he
uniforms.
squeak like the intendant?
Yes,
Do you know they had to dub over the intendant's voice line because she squeaks?
she's very intimidating. Squeaky.
I don't know. I think she looks silly.
No, she is.
Garrick is more intimidating than the
By
intendant.
she's very intimidating, I do in fact mean she's not even slightly intimidating. With her squeaky pants.
I don't know. I can't get over the tinfoil hat.
All right, last episode for today. No crashes yet. Temperatures are still stable. Everything's fine.
When you had the crashes, were you doing anything in particular?
No, I'm just doing the exact same thing I always do, and the exact same thing that I did in my 8-hour test stream where everything was perfectly stable the whole time.
Wow.
Well, 1 minute to Penumbra.
I mean, he was also, making some eggs on his GPU, but aside from that.
That can't be right. I don't even like eggs.
What's wrong with eggs?
They're fine, but meh. They're okay.
What about chocolate eggs? How do you feel about those?
Are you talking about eggs that are completely made of chocolate, or you coat an egg in
Yes.
chocolate?
No? Like an Easter egg?
That's, sure. Milk chocolate in particular. I should buy some chocolate. It's been a while since I've had chocolate. Do they have chocolate eggs on Amazon? Milk, chocolate,
Probably.
eggs.
Probably.
Do you normally enunciate your Google searches?
Yes. Everybody get
you
ready to press play in
Googling
5,
like in Star Trek?
4, 3, 2, 1. Play. Computer, search for 2 pounds chocolate eggs.
Search for cream eggs. That's what you want.
These are all like the dumb hard chocolate that are like the half-inch tall eggs. I want like the bigger ones that are hollow in the middle.
And fill it with cream egg filling.
Well, Google big chocolate eggs.
Ah, big chocolate eggs. Of course.
No,
No, I'm not in Google, I'm on Amazon. Oh, these ones, the first ones have Hot Wheels inside them.
In the prior episode,
Tasty.
Tasty, tasty Hot Wheels.
Kira was kidnapped by a Bajoran Vedic because he was a member of the Pirate. So like the main crew should not just be like going wherever Vedics take them.
What's a hecapate?
Well,
2.6 acres.
It's worth an amount of Yamek sauce, apparently.
A lot of Yamek sauce.
It's like an acre, but
But it's a
not an
space acre.
Not.
Is it a real measurement? I'm pretty sure it's a Bajoran measurement.
I think it's supposed to sound like hectares, but
We know it's not platinum.
Hey, everyone's
Worthless
There's
land.
a voice I haven't heard in a while.
Yeah, hi, sorry. I've been
Welcome.
busy trying to get outside, enjoy that summer weather before we plunged
Why would
into
you
the
do that
dark
when you can
years.
watch Star Trek?
how dare you?
There's nothing outside.
I
Just
was
stay
here.
inside and
I
get
was here
paler and
for
paler.
Sub Rosa a couple weeks ago.
That is the important one.
Yeah, I've been doing what matters.
I think we're all sub rosa'd out now.
I'm not. I
definitely-
could go for more
Sub
Sub
Rosa a few
Rosa.
weeks ago, so I've had enough.
I'd be
I'm
very
very
happy to
Sub
watch
Rosa
Sub
out.
Rosa again.
I might watch All Good Things, and I'll try and make it Caretaker.
All
Yeah.
good things is fully booked.
Wait, hang on. Have you reserved all good things? Let me check the list.
No,
Are you on the
I
list?
reserved Sub Rosa like a sensible
No.
person.
No,
They-
everyone's favorite. You're not on the list for all good things. It's all full.
You can be in the overflow queue and just like watch us.
Some people on the
You
list I haven't
overflow.
actually seen in a while, so they might not show up. And that's
Let's
fine.
sign up for a Caretaker for
You can
advance.
stand outside the Discord with tickets to all good things like 10 minutes before it starts.
Yeah.
Amazon has these Cadbury eggs with caramel in the middle, but I don't really want caramel with the egg.
I want that now.
Have you ever had a cream egg before?
Probably, but I don't remember specifically.
Oh, they're so good. But you want to
Remember
die
the
after you eat
prophet
one. There's so much
destroyed
sugar.
this woman's life.
Sorry, what did you say?
Also,
Moon?
Remember when the prophets destroyed this person's life and nobody cares?
It's the
Yeah,
prophets.
she doesn't get self-determination.
Are we talking about Cisco, or are we talking about
His mom.
Oh, okay.
Sarah Cisco.
I thought Sarah
Cisco's mom was
Cisco-
possessed by the prophets for like 20 years and then
And
killed
forced
herself.
to have a
right?
child against her will.
Oh, I
Mhm.
thought she just never
And then-
existed.
She didn't kill herself. She died in like a water ski accident or something.
I thought she like got ran over by a train.
I
The
don't think
weather
it
net
was a case.
malfunctioned and a tornado picked up her house.
I know that yesterday Captain Picard almost got ran over by a train.
By a
Are you thinking
train.
of Edith Keeler?
Oh, emergence.
I was thinking of
Edith
The-
Keeler.
Where's your
Parents of the
ticket?
Q
Oh, her.
episode.
The
Captain
transparent
Baudet.
skull.
Toothy Smile?
Yeah.
Aren't all smiles toothy?
No.
So he has buck teeth or something?
Yeah,
Oh,
this
did
might
it
be
work?
called Penumbra Part 1 because this is the first part of a 7-part finale.
More than 7 parts. How long
Yeah,
is it? Let's see.
9
Oh,
parts to become
7.
the last.
So is that what we're doing today?
No.
It's 10 parts.
10
Yeah,
part. Look,
the
it
10-part
takes
finale.
forever.
There's the 7-part episode, and then there's a 2-part episode inside of the 7-part
There's
episode.
also a part. There's also a part 8. It says the Dogs of War Part 8, and then What You Leave Behind 1 and 2.
And
So
then
it's
This is where
actually
we
a
need to wrap
9-part
everything up.
episode.
1 2-hour episode. I hate it when they number them like that. It's like,
Okay.
eh.
I always figured it was Netflix stitching them together.
I mean, I think they might have been syndicated as 2 parts separately, so that if you didn't actually watch the finale when it aired, it was a 2-parter. But no,
in Hinduism,
I mean,
you
if it
have
airs as
the
1 part, it's 1 part.
It's not important. It was 30 years ago. It's 1 part now.
But
In
even
Hindu-
if you don't include What You Leave Behind, it's 8 parts.
Oh, God.
Is Dogs of War.
Join us next week for more counting. One
episode.
finale episode.
You should just have a counting stream where we just count the whole time.
We did. This whole thing has been a triangle counting stream for weeks.
Yeah.
Triangle
For
shot.
like a year now.
almost a year to the day, right?
What's the anniversary of the
Uh,
watch
do,
Of the
alongs?
first
do you
triangle.
count the test stream? Because I did a test of an episode before we did season 1.
Well, there are triangles in it.
No.
No, it doesn't count.
Okay, TNG season 1 episode 1 was August 1st, 2020. So it was over a year ago.
Making me feel old.
Wow, you're a year old?
Yeah, it makes me feel like a year old.
Well, I
Wah.
mean,
Give milk.
season 1 episode 1, we didn't even have people we didn't have a voice chat. It was just me.
Being
Just
funny by
chilling out.
himself.
So was it
What's that?
just you talking?
Yeah, just me. And then
Can't
a
imagine
couple
how boring
a
that
a few
was.
after that,
It was a
I
good
brought
show.
in like a couple of guest people, and it was really awkward. And then I was like, this
Mhm.
kind of sucks. Let me open it up to Discord, and then it substantially improved.
Yeah. Things really
Yay, we
turned
raised
around when I
the
showed up.
quality of the show.
You did. And then I got some people who were kind of awful, and I had to ban them. And then they kind of ruined
What?
some
You
of the
had
really
awful
good
people?
episodes, so we have to go rewatch them at some point.
What
They
happened?
didn't ruin the drumhead, did they? It's like my all-time
I
favorite.
don't remember.
You don't
It's
remember
not
what
important
happened?
now.
Picard sits and speaks in courtroom episode.
All I remember about the drumhead is Worf, of course, like goes along with the authoritarian witch hunt.
Of course he does.
He's the most
Yeah, of course,
easily
yeah.
influenced, and
Yes.
like everyone in the
Remember to
courtroom
investigate
uses
my
like
friends.
really obvious like 6-legged 90s office chairs.
Does Riker maneuver the awkward chair?
Riker
I
has,
don't know.
or not Riker, Worf has this weird ball chair in his quarters that he does sit on a couple times. But it does not look comfortable.
I was imagining like one of those trendy exercise ball chairs for
Look at Quark being an upstanding
cutting
gentleman.
edge of office furniture.
So, did you ever see the Office episode where Dwight has the ball chair and then it gets popped and he falls on his butt?
I think so.
I don't remember that, but I've seen it.
I remember he
like
had a
the,
standing desk that.
I like
was-
how we haven't talked about really any of the episode, and
Well,
we're
nothing's
like,
happened yet.
when they rehearsed it, it just like the air came out slowly and it deflated. It didn't pop, and then when they actually filmed it, it popped, and so they used that take because it was more.
Wait, is
Comedic.
that the Defiant? I don't
I bet it would
recognize
be
that
funny if
shot.
he
Where is
slowly
he in the
sunk.
Defiant?
imagine,
the
if there-
spots on the-
imagine you get a hail, like someone Skypes you in the middle of the night, and you like get up in your pajamas and you look on the screen and it's like the entire bridge crew and all of your coworkers watching you.
In the 24th
the-
century, no one would care.
Do those spots go all the way down?
Well, are they like fake tattoos? Like, you know those tattoos you get on
Look,
holiday or
reference
whatever?
to
or
interaction,
thumb? Yeah,
insurrection.
you rub them on and they
The
wear off in like
Water
30
chance.
seconds.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you think that Insurrection just filmed or was just in theaters last week or whatever?
It should have been a couple years ago now, I think.
Insurrection was 99.
Years?
So this was the same
Was
time.
first
You know,
contact?
I don't
First
know.
contact was what 95, 96. I think
97.
Insurrection was
96.
98.
Yeah, 98.
It's a little weird that they'd reference the movie
Check.
years later like that.
I
Let me
heard
check.
Justin Bieber, and I was like,
Yeah,
was
December
Justin
11th,
Bieber in Star Trek Insurrection?
1998.
Okay,
I saw it the
this
first day.
episode is actually only 4 months after Insurrection. 4 months
And-
after Insurrection.
It takes 4 months to produce an episode, so it's probably contemporary.
William is out of patience.
You know, I think I remember that as a kid too. They mentioned the sonar.
Didn't the
That's some-
Sona end up joining the Baku at the end of the Insurrection movie?
What about the end of the
Yeah.
Insurrection movie again?
Don't the Sona reunite with the Baku? They're the same race, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, some of them do. We don't know what the whole situation is.
Hmm.
Galna does.
But it's implied here the Sona are allied with the Dominion.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was part of the plot of Insurrection. The
That they
Sona,
produced
I remember.
Ketracel White for the Dominion.
Mhm.
Which,
And then they
uncool.
were never seen again, ever.
Well, Admiral Dougherty was working with them.
Admiral Dougherty doesn't show up again because he's dead.
Yeah.
Well,
He got
they never
stretched.
show him dead. They just he could.
Oh,
look
yes, they
different.
do.
No,
he died
no,
on
he's
screen
dead.
extremely gruesomely.
No,
Yeah, he got put in the stretcher.
that's just a facelift.
You got the
No,
they
he's
lifted
definitely
his
dead.
entire face off.
Oh, okay.
It was like in that movie Face Off where they take his face off.
I feel like you watched Braveheart and saw William Wallace get pulled apart by horses and said, "No, that's just yoga." No, he's dead.
Small Dax.
Mini Dax.
She's so tiny.
That
He
punishment
is.
is called draw and quartered.
So
Yeah,
does
drawn and quartered.
every Starfleet
You know-
officer basically just have the ability to break into people's rooms? Because Dax is not a particularly high-ranking officer.
Yeah, anyone
Yes.
can.
Have you been watching another show for the past 7 seasons? Because
I don't think burglary is really a problem in the Star Trek universe.
Oh, no,
is
it
in
has
this
been, very
station.
explicitly. Worf's quarters got robbed.
That's what Odo's for.
Someone stole a bunch of stuff from Worf's quarters.
Yeah,
And then
from
they
this
just never fix
specific
security.
room.
Yes, this room. He stole Worf's tooth sharpener that he bought.
Mm.
Very rude.
that's the last time they did the deed.
Do they have to pay Jadzia royalties for this?
Probably.
No, because
Sorry,
when
Terry
you sign
Farrell. Her name's not Jadzia.
it, when you sign the contract, they have the right to use your likeness or whatever.
Computer pause.
Oh god, that wedding dress is awful. On both
Computer
of them.
pause.
No, it's cool.
Sad
I like it.
flashback.mp3.
That's kind of bad.
Yeah.
You're right.
Whoa, I got really pixely for some reason on my end.
It's okay here, it's just you.
All I
Have you
seen
tried
was.
wearing anti-pixelation glasses?
Oh, let me just put them on.
Okay.
Wow.
So, do you guys like the Defiant? Do you think it's cool?
Yeah, it does.
It's alright.
I like
It
a
fits the
Defiant.
show well.
Yeah, I like the ablative armor.
It's a departure from what we're used to in terms of design.
I learned this year Cisco designed the Defiant when he was head of Utopia Planasia before Picard hired him
Well,
to run
kind
the
of.
design.
He had a hand in it.
Right. I mean,
Picard?
yeah.
He didn't just sit down and
Cisco
like
built
pump
the
out a
entire
Defiant
ship by
design.
hand.
Yeah,
And
yeah, like,
and
like
then
how he built the solar sail.
it it had structural integrity issues,
Wood.
which are
Which they
referenced
ironed
throughout
out
the
in a
show.
solid 20 minutes.
Yeah.
He got his
Yeah,
kit bashing kit out, and then he made a Defiant.
Yeah, it's
Adorable.
just
Seems legit, Esri.
it was just like how what am I trying to? Yeah, like when he built the solar sail ship, he was like, a hobby, and he just like went to some random room, and he's like, this is my shipbuilding room now. Get everything out, and he just built.
He's the captain.
Yeah, he just built a battle cruiser with like a table saw.
Do you think Dax gets annoyed at having to relive their lives as a Starfleet officer and going through the ranks again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think you can get, like, if you fill out a form that certifies that you're actually 3 million years old?
Why could they not put a tractor beam on the shuttle? Just let her go. Ah, because she'd never forgive you. Okay.
Yeah, just let it go and then demote her when she comes back.
So she's going to get in
Imagine
trouble
that.
for this, right? She's going to be court-martialed or something, or
Nope.
get a stern talking
Ah, she's
to,
the old
literally
man.
anything.
Nope.
Yeah, like she commandeered a shuttle without permission.
That happens all the time.
Yeah, Starfleet officers like constantly disobey the rules and don't get
Are
punished.
those things even locked?
The Defiant is locked, but I guess the runabouts aren't, no.
Well,
It's
probably
locked until you take off your
but She's
sideburns.
also like a lieutenant, so she's probably allowed to use the runabout.
What
Yeah.
happened in that episode?
You don't even need keys. You just go in and say, computer, take off. And it
What
goes.
happened to the episode where Gooey Bashir tried to steal a shuttle? What was?
Gooey.
Gooey Bashir.
Yeah, how did he get in there? Did he just ask?
Well, yeah, the computer thought he was
He walked up to the shuttle
Solid
and he was
Bashir.
like,
partially
shuttle, I'm
Gooey
Bashir. and the shuttle
He,
was like,
he just
okay.
oozed his way in.
Or that.
Went in through a manifold or something.
You know, I've really warmed up to the runabout. I used to not like it, but now I think it's really cool.
At least it has a warp drive, unlike the shuttles.
Yeah,
It can actually go
I didn't
somewhere.
like them first either. Like they look so useless.
I've gotten around to their look. They look
But they're
cool.
actually really great scientific vessels too. You want that over a TNG shuttlecraft.
Yeah, they're a lot safer too. I feel like runabouts, like TNG shuttles, had like a 50% fatality rate. Like when you
So
got
are you
on.
saying that the runabouts are like the Volvos of the Star Trek universe?
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe.
They look like Volvos too.
Do you think Cisco is replicating this like Legos, or is he actually making every little bit by hand? Did he build
Probably
that tiny
replicating
little
them.
bench for ants?
It's like computer. Yeah, there's probably it's like a hobby in the future, you know, where you make doll houses and stuff like miniature furniture.
Or the Alamo.
Yeah. Lots of
I
model
use
building in the
whatever.
future.
Program.
That's all we do.
Bashir used.
They
We
use
just
that.
3D
They use
print our
that.
favorite.
They used that program they used in TNG to make the nightmare chair.
If this
Only-
is Cisco's ideal house, how come it has beams going through the window? That's going to disrupt your view.
I like the aesthetic.
I think like that's the prairie kind of motif that they use for Bajoran frontier houses.
Yeah, but why? It doesn't look structurally necessary.
Yeah, it looks pretty though. Actually, I like it.
But it looks nice by itself, but I'm thinking when you're trying to actually look out over the valley, it's going to get
Because
in the
it's a
way.
little house on the prairie.
Like if you move an inch, you're not like missing anything by the bars because of the parallax, you know.
It's okay. He's not gonna live in this house, so don't worry about it.
No,
Spoilers.
he's actually just going to abandon his wife and child, his pregnant wife and child.
He'll be
house has
back,
been
folks.
destroyed.
For all we know, he is back already.
Don't at the
Yeah, like-
end, at the very end of the series, they flash forward like a couple years or months or something, and he's not back.
Yeah,
I don't think it's months. I think it's
They don't flash forward.
it is months, I believe.
no. It's fairly soon after the end of the war.
I'm pretty sure they don't flash forward.
There is definitely
Well,
a
we'll
time
find
skip. I
out
don't know how long it is.
in a week or two.
Technically, that ring is infinite month's salary because he doesn't have a salary.
Someone's breathing into their microphone.
Oh, it's probably me. I'm sorry.
This ain't
You
no
wish Cisco-
ASMR channel.
Would you wish Cisco would put a ring on you, Moon?
You get that idea?
Well, breathing generally implies marriage, of course. People don't breathe unless
Breathing
they're...
generally implies a life.
Generally,
No, I just remember when
True.
Baral was shirtless and I was breathing into the microphone. Ryan pointed that out.
Why do you have seasickness in the spaceship with inertial dampeners?
She has.
Does it look like the
She's just
inertial dampeners are
quirky.
working?
didn't she
turned
turn
them
off the inertial dampeners?
Yeah,
She
she
has
turned
a medical
everything off so
condition.
that she could get sucked into the
She's
current.
about to, in like 2 seconds.
Her prior life died in a shuttle crash, so she has seasickness issues because her mother used to something.
Oh, well, that was fast. Found him in like 2 seconds.
Hey, that looks like the Badlands.
The Badlands
the
effect has
Badlands.
really changed. It is the Badlands.
Mhm.
I bet they've used more like different models for the Badlands than any other like place in Star Trek.
Yeah, the Badlands are the most commonly recurring thing in all the series.
What do you think Worf was doing in that pod this whole time?
Singing.
Yeah,
Opera.
we're going to find out
I think
explicitly
that's
what he was
canon. I
doing.
think he says that.
He does.
Oh yeah, I think he talks. Doesn't he talk about like the acoustics?
Mm-hmm.
They were favorable.
Something like that. Mr. Woof, the macro brain himself.
K.O.
I thought it was the
His brain
micro
is significantly less, or the macro head micro brain, is what he says. Cute.
Macro head with a micro brain.
Yes, like that.
Eat any good books lately? Cisco hates you. Remember that time you
Worf
went on
like,
a
you what,
mission
mate?
and you messed up and 1 trillion people died?
The needs
And
of
then
the
you're-
many outweigh the needs of the Worf. They're not risking a whole ship just to find him.
Worf screwed up a critical mission and caused the deaths of thousands of people just to save his wife, and his wife died like a week later. What an F.
Wow.
If they killed Jadzia off there,
Yeah,
they could have.
They should have.
Coulda.
That could
Would
have
have
been
had some
interesting.
dramatic tension.
That would have been good.
Worf
But it
carries
made Gal-
Jadzia back to the shuttle. She dies anyway. Failed the mission. Lost his wife.
My God, that's what they should have done.
But the thing is,
Absolutely punish Worf.
it makes Ducat worse because it starts like Ducat's spiral into like becoming the Paraith figure.
Well, that had to have happened before because he killed Jadzia while possessed by the Pa-Wraith.
How come?
Yeah.
You know who should have gone crazy and started worshiping the devil by now? Fucking O'Brien. Like he's gone through some stuff.
Yeah.
How come he needs to be crazy by now? And we can have like
He's all
we can
flaky.
have like Ducat and O'Brien have have a bro cult.
I mean,
The founder's all flaky, but still she's nowhere near as flaky as the Screens. People were
Screen
gross.
skin flakes seem to be off screen. I remember seeing skin flakes, but Nog sure complained about them.
They just looked so flaky. They didn't moisturize once in their life. I don't think
You
they
don't need
ever
to
took a shower.
moisturize
They
if you're
didn't
made of goop.
exfoliate. Who, the Breen or the Cardis? Oh, right, not the Breen. The Breen's revealed at the end of the episode. I do like making videos about decoding hidden messages in Star Trek. I don't think I can do the Breen. That seems unlikely.
The Breen are just Princess Leia's disguise from Return of the Jedi.
They
I
do
could do
look
a
uncannily similar.
I could do a video subtitling the Breen.
That'd be funny. Yes, you should do that.
Video
It's funny how long
ideas.txt.
they like hyped up the Breen. Like they were referenced in TNG. And they just keep getting name dropped over and over again in early seasons of Deep Space Nine.
Yeah, and they were on the planet where Ducat's goldfish was being trapped and forced to mine stuff.
Yeah, I think that's when we first see the Breen.
Yeah.
The Maquis needed their refrigeration units.
Well, like I said, the first time we see him is in Return of the Jedi, but...
The Breen? I don't think
It's
the Breen were in
different.
Return of the
They just
Jedi.
look uncannily similar.
No, they're the same.
Like, it's not the same suit. It's not.
No, it's the same.
They look slightly different.
No, it's the same.
Leia's mask is much smaller than a Breen mask.
Star Trek owns George Lucas's soul.
We could only wish. George Lucas is Katra.
Dax could be his best man, so that means like a woman could be your best man.
Well, there's not really a specific rule. There's no law about who you can invite to your wedding. You can just say whatever.
True.
Since Cisco's a naval captain, can he just marry himself? Or like perform his own wedding?
Wait, do you mean can he literally marry himself, or can he do his own marriage?
With both.
His own marriage. I don't think he can marry himself.
Can he?
What does that even mean?
How would he kiss the bride?
Can a Trill host marry their symbiont?
Like get a mirror?
Yeah.
They are their symbiont.
No, they're the same person.
What if... No, okay, what if a symbiont is in the pool, and then a Trill and a symbiont get married while the symbiont is unjoined, and then they join? Are they one person or two people? Do you still get a tax break?
Then they'd be one person after they're joined.
Will you still get the tax break?
What tax break? They're one person. It's not like the symbiote has a separate job.
How many symbiotes can you...
in the Federation?
How many
symbionts aren't tax deductible?
There's a 100% income tax.
That's an interesting question that never occurred to me. Does a joined Trill have to eat more food?
Probably.
How many?
They don't just not have metabolism.
How many symbiotes can he fit in?
Or do they have to drink more fluids?
That's a good question.
There
Can
we
you
go.
put
We just got
multiple symbiotes in a Trill?
The explicit mention that Worf was singing in there.
Yeah, I told you guys.
How come the right side of Worf's head is all blurry? It doesn't look out of focus. It looks like the lens is dirty.
It's all because of his micro brain. Bends the light.
Are Worf's ridges tax deductible?
How weird would it look if I did a video applying the Vaseline filter to any of like DS9 or TNG? Like how TOS, anytime there's a woman in frame, there's just Vaseline on the lens.
I know, right? It's weird.
Wow.
How weird would it look if I did that for this?
In the 60s?
Worf was just informed that his son is tactical officer, and he's like, yeah, they were short-staffed.
Well, he is pretty terrible, so...
He's really not even proud of his son for, like, becoming a...
Alexander had a bit of a rough upbringing, being abandoned by his father and his mother dying.
Didn't we watch yesterday in TNG that the future Alexander comes to Worf and he warns him that, like, I'm not going to have any connection to Klingon culture?
future Alexander comes back and tries to shoot young Alexander in the face with a gun.
What?
He stages an assassination attempt to.
No,
This
no,
isn't
after
real,
that.
right?
He knows.
After that, when Alexander
knows?
is asleep in bed, and old Alexander feels like he fails, like, well, my only solution is to kill myself now.
I bet Worf
that
is
real?
gonna.
Yeah,
I
that's
bet
real. That
Worf is-
happened.
I bet
How
Worf
have I
really
purged
wishes
this
he
from
was
my
on
memory?
Klingon
I
ship.
don't
where he
remember the
could kill
Bellerophon, but I don't know about this.
Because
his
Bellerophon is a cool name.
subordinates.
I also remember that Worf sung in the escape pod.
Watch yesterday's episode of Ryan's Edits. You watch along.
Or just watch the episode. God, what was it called? Was it Firstborn? I think it's Firstborn.
Yeah.
I slept through the stream yesterday by accident. It was
It's
very
okay.
sad.
This is why you can't miss streams.
Mm-hmm. Bad.
You're not allowed to sleep through streams. You're literally our only female representation.
Well, we've had a few women come on and they just stopped coming on. Like we had the Czech lady.
Savda.
And this sequence is a lot louder than the rest of the episode.
The runabout's cool. It has like a transporter and a replicator. Even has like a nice little cozy room with like a
It might even
table.
have its own deflector dish that can do basically anything else.
Yeah, in Deep Space Nine, they never show the back part of the runabout. We only see that in TNG, but it's actually like pretty cool.
It's weird because
Cozy. That's
like,
when
reason
that's when
that
Picard gives the
He
the
just kept
speech where
talking
he
and
He
one
just
like
kept
one
talking
long-
and talking in one incredibly unbroken sentence, moving from topic to topic without
No.
giving anyone a chance to interrupt. It was really quite hypnotic.
it's weird we never see that room on Deep Space Nine too, because I'm pretty sure the whole reason they actually had that scene or had that set on a runabout in the first place is so that they
I'm
could
sure we
build
don't.
back with TNG's larger set budget.
We're sure we don't. Like even in the
No, we
episode
don't.
where like Jake and Nog are in the runabout in season
I
No,
thought
they
so,
stay in the
too.
front.
Yeah, we never see
What
them
about
back. in
the episode where Odo and Quark are in the runabout and like they end up on the mountain and they're climbing the
No.
mountain because they're
No,
in
they
love?
just leave.
Odo and Quark are climbing a mountain. Why are they climbing a mountain?
It's definitely not to.
They're trying to get
But they-
higher to let a
they'll get
transmitter
basically
stand out.
Transmitter.
No, it's
Yeah,
just
they
they're in
get the
love.
transmitter higher.
It's just like
Because
after
they're in love.
Earth.
We know this. Yes, thank you. All these answers about the transmitter.
No.
Who cares about the transmitter? Transmortar? What's a mortar? I guess
It's
that's a
mortar.
transmitter that you put in a cannon and shoot up to the top of the mountain, so it just reaches.
Remember
it on
the
the mountain.
remember the transporter gun from last week's Deep Space Nine? Get ready for the transmortar, where it does the same thing with mortar shells.
It'd be so effective. That's just beaming torpedoes.
Screen
from
mortar
extra steps.
materializes 1 centimeter in front of your face.
A grenade that goes off and
Antimatter
transports everybody in a
transmarker.
certain radius.
I like that Cisco knows the names of like everyone on the station.
Yes, Cisco is good and cool, and we love him.
Dais bearer. They carry her on a dais.
Can you imagine how awful it must be to like I don't know 51 children. Sorry.
Poor cats.
Guess you can't.
Oh,
You
guess
should
I
just have a
won't get
big
the
competition
kids.
to like,
This
I
is
don't know,
my
whoever's the
favorite.
best.
This is my favorite appearance of Kai Wynn, where she shows up and she's like, "Surprise!
I'm gonna be
I'm gonna be
officiating
your
your
wedding
wedding.
official."
Yay!
Everyone's like, no, I'm officiating my own wedding. We both can do that because we're both naval captains.
They could go into the wormhole and have the prophets themselves officiate, if the prophets didn't object, which they do.
No,
Wow.
So it's
the
the prophet
prophets
Kai-
completely
I would be like,
object.
well,
we're going to see
except they
that
do.
later in this episode.
Kai Wynn would be like, "Well, I wouldn't know what that's like because the prophets never spoke to me." Yeah, it's because you're evil. Evil.
It's called the Celestial Temple when you're getting married in there.
Wormhole aliens.
It just gave me an idea for a Star Trek
God.
themed wedding chapel in Las Vegas, the Celestial Temple. All right.
But they'd have to reactivate Star Trek: The Experience. They should just get people married on the Borg encounter ride.
You know, there's basically a website where you pay a fee and you can become a Unitarian Universalist minister.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And-
I'm a minister officially.
And
I
I
can
read Jared
officiate
Kushner
weddings.
has it too. But so you can officiate, cool. So
You
can
don't even have
officiate-
to pay. It's literally free. You just go in and sign up, and it's like, okay, you're ordained now. Congratulations.
You have to attest that you're a person of good moral character and standing.
Oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that then. Oh, Robo, my my junction temperature on memory has gone up to 74 centigrade.
I want to get married
So,
on one of those motion
isn't it-
simulators.
That question, though, that if you're a good, upstanding, moral character, wouldn't that be like you either say yes or you say yes? You say yes because you are, or if you aren't, you say yes because you aren't. So you lie.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing that they're
what's
not a
interesting about
discriminating church.
the interaction between Ducat and Damar there? Like, this is when Damar's kind of like he's building up his confidence to start going against the founders.
Was
And
that a
Ducat
dog?
kind of tips him off. Like,
Good observation.
he gives him the little bit of push that he needs to actually start doing it. So even though Ducat is bad boy by this point, like, he still does something that ends up being a good thing.
I have returned.
Yeah, good observation. Like Ryan said, it's part 1 of a 7-part arc.
Yeah.
Or more.
It's the greater good. It's the greater good of Cardassia, because that's what Ducat always wanted. He didn't care about the Dominion. The Dominion was just a tool for him to
It's just
advance
so
Cardassia.
ungrateful.
Yeah.
No, it was just a tool for him to be able to make speeches on the Jumbotron.
God,
The
you remember that
Jumbotron.
bit when they took over the station? Like, oh, be nice, Damar. They're our allies for now. It's like, really, you think you can take the Dominion? Really?
Cardassians are known for their arrogance.
You couldn't take the Klingons. You couldn't even take the Maquis.
You know, it really was like a, not to make too many analogies, but Hitler like power grab. Because like I was reading, it's a relatively new history of World War II, but like Hitler never had a chance. Germany didn't have the resources. The idea was that you just conquer the whole continent before anybody figures out that like Britain's shipping empire is bigger than you could ever be.
It turns out that the Nazis were actually incompetent losers.
Yeah, they were.
Who knew?
Yeah.
It's pretty amusing, or not really amusing, but horrifying that the entire world has fallen for the Nazi propaganda. Everyone thinks they're like super efficient. Hell, even Star Trek thinks they're super efficient and powerful. And
They did dress
There's
well.
TOS episode.
yeah, there's
think
a
so?
Can we
TOS
stop
What?
making can we stop making can we stop complimenting the Nazis?
Yeah, let's stop. They're incompetent losers who are as
Yeah.
likely to attack you on a horse as with a tank.
Okay,
Yeah.
here's something unrelated. Don't
Good
be like
uniforms,
Worf.
though, has
Your
to be
ex is
said.
allowed to date whoever they want. You can't get jealous
Right.
because your ex-girlfriend is seeing someone
Not
else.
even
Oh,
his ex.
before she met you.
Yeah, not even his ex, but from Worf's perspective, his ex.
Your ex-wife's ex. You're mad about that.
Sleeper, is that not like calling someone a whore?
It's clearly just another word that
like-
begins with SL.
Yeah, that's not romantic. Don't try that. Don't ever call your paramour a sleeve.
Don't call
It's not-
someone a
it's
sleeve
not-
off unless
it's
they want
paramount.
you to.
I'm calling
Yeah.
everyone a sleeve lock, Ryan.
And then don't expect them to kiss you because this does not happen in real life. What happens is the relationship ends because you were judging someone.
You're calling him a sleeve lock. What are you? Let's look up a definition of that.
Mind your business.
It is directly
Yo,
analogous to
sleeve.
another
Usually,
word that we.
Mind your business.
I don't know if I'm allowed
the
to use
Breen
on
heard
YouTube.
that, like, he shouted Sleeback so loud that the Breen were like, what? We need to go investigate.
Yeah.
the Klingon on these shows is usually accurate, right? They don't just do
Yeah.
gibberish, right?
Oh
This
no, it's
is,
totally gibberish.
They've used the word before. It's not
Sleeveblock is
gibberish.
actually Klingon for.
When they shout
I
out
don't wanna say it.
like one word or two word sentences, it's usually correct. If they try to do a whole sentence, it's nonsense.
This is worse.
If they like do a paragraph of Klingon, it doesn't mean anything.
This is definitely one of worst fantasies.
In Discovery, it's always accurate.
You get to you almost die, then you almost die again.
Yes,
you
the
get
Klingon
to
is good in
stab
Discovery.
something, and then you get to be romantic, and then you get captured, and you get to fight things again.
I have mixed feelings about Discovery's Klingon, because on the one hand, it is actually perfectly accurate to how the language was written by whatever crazy person made it up in the first place. On the other hand,
Apparently, it was started by James Doohan.
it means if I want to like watch the show, it can't be on another monitor because I have to actually watch the subtitles. So I did appreciate when they
all the Star Trek
switched
shows
to
that use
English.
Klingon, right?
Yeah, but usually it's nonsense anyway, so it doesn't matter. And it's not subtitled.
I mean, isn't all Discovery translated into Klingon? They're Klingon subtitles.
And the second you met her,
They were on
though,
the
you
first
were
season.
shutting her down and like trying to ignore her. And
Does YouTube still support Klingon subtitles?
It was Netflix that was doing it when I saw it anyway.
well, not anymore.
I liked the Klingon in Discovery. I thought it sounded good.
Yeah.
And I don't mind subtitles. I always watch with subtitles anyway.
I mean, I watch with
And I
subtitles
do
well.
not
I just don't want to
understand you people. I know
have
it's
to
a
if I'm doing a
thing.
rewatch. I want to just
Mhm.
listen to it while I'm doing it like a chill game or something.
I still haven't rewatched Discovery yet. I've only seen each season once. Rewatched Lower Decks already.
So Damar went from being a communications officer to
On a freighter.
legate of on a freighter, legate of second command under Ducat, then legate himself, and then
Ever since the
leader of
freighter,
the
he's second
resistance,
command
and
under
then a
Ducat.
martyr.
Liaison to the Dominion also, which is like he's basically governor of the planet.
Well, he's the legate
Mhm.
of the whole planet.
Ducat clearly liked
A
him.
legate
It's
is just
Mark.
like below
oh, hi,
his goal.
Mark.
No, legate is above a goal.
Sorry.
So what caused Mark
It's
Alimo's
Glim
facial
Legate.
scarring? Is that... I mean, he looks like a smoker,
it's
but I don't
just
think that's what did
scarring.
it.
I think it's wrinkles.
Probably the surgery.
What facial?
I'm pretty sure
scarring?
it's just wrinkles.
No, like, look on the
Maybe
left
it's
side
acne-
of the
acne
Maybe
screen.
there's a
scars?
bit of scarring there. Let me look up Mark
Acne
Levine, see if he
scars.
has
Back
them.
in the day, like
I
Queen
don't know what caused these scars.
Elizabeth had smallpox as a child, and
Yeah,
you
it
know,
looks
she
like he has the scars in real life.
yeah,
Yeah,
they
he does.
covered they
Yes.
covered it up with like crushed eggshells and stuff, like a paste. But people used to get facial scars a lot from
Like,
from
Commander Adama in the
Oh, yeah.
reboot Galactica, he very clearly has acne scarring.
And
Yeah, I think that's what
Edward
this
James
is.
almost does.
Yeah, that's the same
The
thing.
actor does.
So does
Yeah,
Mark
and he also
Alimo,
has
is
the
that also
scars when
acne
he plays
scarring?
that Romulan in season 1
my skin is horrible too.
of TNG.
And Mark Alimo's got to be a smoker, right? Like, if you watch
shows
modern
you.
interviews with him, his voice is completely screwed. It's gone.
Just shows you if you've got a bunch of acne and you get scars, you can still be an actor. Just
Well, yeah, the scars make him look old and what
makes him
authoritative.
medieval.
He was in a
I'm
bunch of
sad that
battles.
they won't cast people like Alimo in main roles because the scarring and stuff.
What's their name?
They don't like
Who's that?
hiring like actors with scars or whatever.
No, but who is the specific
main
person
roles.
you were talking about? Ali
And
something?
Edward James almost has had a
Mark
perfectly
Alimo,
good
that's what I was
career.
talking about.
Oh.
Like, I'm sad that he doesn't get main roles. He's clearly a really good actor.
Yeah, Edward
Really,
James
like,
almost.
What?
Small roles.
What? I'm trying to post this image and it says that it was blocked, Ryan. This is not an offensive image.
Okay. I'm not
Man,
turning off the
you
server
know what,
filter.
you know what
Ernest.
Cisco could say right here when he's like
Turn it
putting
off
his
and
model
ban
together,
Post
and
bad
the
stuff.
prophets show up. Get out of my
Alright,
room, Mom. I'm
I'll
playing
have to try
Minecraft.
posting
I
it
would-
another way.
I would rather
this work?
1,000 innocent images get filtered out than one actually awful image get on the server.
Why not
Here,
just
I
ban
linked
people
it
who
as
post
a
the
link.
awful images and turn off the...
Because this is faster.
I love it. Oh, that's amazing.
Right? And Discord blocked it.
Not bondage. That's just the guy from Voyager. Dwayne the Rock Johnson from Voyager.
When he was when he
Oh,
was
of
on
course.
Voyager.
Oh,
Yeah, that's where Dwayne the Rock Johnson is known from. It's Voyager.
yeah, that's where I know him from.
Right. That was his biggest theatrical role ever.
To
So,
me, absolutely.
Sarah Cisco just said that all will be as it should be. Is she referring to him dying? Because that's... I feel like
He
she could
doesn't
tell me
die.
about that. I'm d-
He
well,
joins
he
the
jumps into a
prophets.
fire.
Yeah, Cisco just
We-
dies at the end. That's
It's
what
called
I'm going
occultation. It's when
I
you're
read it as
hidden.
he was effectively dead, and then the prophets just brought him into the temple as a spirit or something.
Now, all
Yeah.
of a sudden, your parent, the prophets get really judgmental as soon as you're about to marry someone, just like real parents.
Thanks,
All
guys.
right.
Thanks, chat.
So the temperature hit a maximum of 74 degrees on the memory, on the VRAM. 66.8
Chris?
highest temperature, hotspot temperature, and a
Oh.
maximum of 125 watts.
A lot of power.
A non-zero amount of electric bill to pay.
It's true.
So I think
I
I
wonder
will
how
probably
much-
not include this counter in future streams. I think we can get rid of that.
You should keep it up.
Does everyone want to see my GPU temperature every stream?
But you also
looking at it.
didn't crash. Was the house hotter the other day? Were you doing other stuff in the background?
No,
were you mining
everything's
accidentally?
identical.
Were
All
you
the
still
same programs
mining?
are running.
Were you playing Minecraft?
No, it's all the same
Not Minecraft,
programs.
mining.
It's the same
Minecraft.
temperature. I'm not mining.
No.
Nothing has changed in my configuration.
It is a little bit weird that you're all acting like the computer crashes are always explicable.
Look, I don't know how
Crash, it's
computers
very
work.
It doesn't matter.
Computers were
I don't know.
invented by technology to help us, like how cows invented milk.
Look, next week, TNG. So I have jury duty selection tomorrow, but jury duty is almost never on the weekend, so TNG will probably have its finale next weekend.
It'll be fun.
Unless you're sequestered.
Oh, it's the big finale. The one we've been waiting for.
Were you just watching Best of Both Worlds? I missed the other episodes.
Well,
Also,
Best
the
of Both
episode
Worlds-
before it.
We're watching Preemptive Strike, which is Ro joining the Mucky, and we're watching All Good Things
That's
Parts
a good
1 and
one.
2. So
Yeah,
there's still
I
3
don't know how it
episodes.
is on Amazon, but I believe All Good Things on Netflix is one episode.
It is. I mean, it aired as one episode, so
Let me check.
it really should be. It just says
on-
parts 1 and 2 for no good reason.
Let me check on
Ryan,
Amazon.
I have a confession. I
Yeah.
hacked your computer and crashed the stream list.
Oh, you crashed my computer. You hacked my IP.
Yeah. I downloaded lots of Wham.
Was it dedicated?
Yeah.
Okay. So on
Imagine
Amazon,
it-
it is also one episode.
I try. This whole time, your computer's just been mining V-Bucks for me, Ryan.
Oh no.
All right,
Anyway.
I'm out of here, everyone. Have a good
Yep,
one.
stream's over. I'm gonna go get a couple really big sandwiches because you can do buy one get one at Subway.
Think about
Subway's
really-
disgusting.
Should send one to me.
Get that out of here.
I'm not sponsored, but you can use promo code FREEFOOTLONG to get buy one get one free at Subway on the app.
I'm also
On the
not
internet?
sponsored by Subway, and I can say that
On
you can
the app?
actually
I download a Subway.
What,
and it's
online?
free.
They have a website, yeah.
This is incredible.
You wouldn't download a Subway.
You wouldn't
I
download
would
a
download
sandwich.
Subway. Subway is definitely the best fast food.
No, it's the worst fast food.
What are you
What do you have
talking
against-
about?
What are
How's
you
it the
gonna eat at
worst?
Subway? A sandwich?
Yes. Sandwiches
You know
are
Specifically
what?
two
cool.
sandwiches because it's buy
The
one get one
sandwich
free.
you can make at your house?
I have to,
What?
but
Why
then I
would that
have
make
to
a
go and
sandwich
buy
in
Sandwich
someone
ingredients
else's
for
made out of
sandwiches.
actual bread?
And then if you get like a
I
whole
mean, you
loaf
could
of bread,
also-
you're committed to having sandwiches for the next week.
And you can also make a burger at home. Like,
You can make anything at home, man.
You know what
Yeah.
I get? You know what I get at Subway? Nothing, because I don't go to Subway and I'm a vegetarian.
You can get
Good
vegetables
breakfast.
at Subway.
I definitely know
Oh yeah, I'll
vegetarians
go to
who've been
Subway
big
and get
fans of
a
Subway.
lettuce sandwich with extra lettuce.
It's
Mm,
called a veggie
That is
delight.
much.
People do, in fact, order it and enjoy it.
Just eat a salad. It's better for you. Subway's bread is not bread.
Are you
Their
like a
tuna is not
Discovery
tuna.
hater,
Bread is
but for
yummy
fast
though.
food
Have you
restaurants?
considered?
I'm a
Just eat a
Subway
salad,
hater,
not and never have any
aka
protein.
someone
and
who's
then die.
correct. Can we leave the stream on and argue about Subway for the next half
No,
hour?
the stream